And now it's time to get you ready for the match with the Phoenix Rising pregame warm-up on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
For years, Phoenix Rising was the standard in the USL Championship, soaring as they set point records, rostered club legends, and reigned over the league. For the past 3 seasons, Phoenix has teetered on the edge of simulated collapse. Through 2 bottom-of-the-playoff picture finishes, they won a title, cycled through 3 managers, now on their 4th, and just last year lost against their greatest rival to date in the first round of the Western Conference playoffs. 2025 has shaped up to be so similar, yet so different. Pa Modoka, Phoenix's 4th manager in 3 seasons, has led his side to heroic comebacks and victories, yet also disappointing tumbles, tussles, and losses. Now for the 3rd season in a row, Phoenix Rising's run-in has them staring down the barrel of glaring questions. How far could they go? How much do they have in the tank? And will they even make the playoff picture when it's all said and done? Although it seems unclear now, there's a good chance that tonight's performance will hold extremely valuable information for all along for the ride as Phoenix Rising takes on the Eastern Conference's 3rd place North Carolina FC in the heart of Cary here at First Horizon Stadium at Wake Med Soccer Park. We appreciate you for joining us tonight for this official presentation of the USL Championship in Phoenix Rising FC on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network. I'm Kevin Cardez, joined all night long by my analyst Sammy O'Brien here live from Cary. Sammy, fair to say there hasn't been a more valuable and necessary 3 points on the table for Phoenix in 2025 like tonight.
No, there is not, Kevin. I'm going to start out with this. Pa Modoka, as a head coach, this is his 3rd stop as a head coach now, has never missed the playoffs. Pa has it in his DNA. He is a winning head coach, and that's what needs to happen tonight. And Rafa kind of said it this week at midweek media. It kind of felt like last week in a derby game, a rivalry game against New Mexico. It kind of came on to bring a little bit more intensity, and they did, and then kind of fell apart at the end. But they feel like now the wheels have kind of started to turn, and they really know now that it's a time and it has to happen here within these next 90 minutes here in gorgeous North Carolina.
You talked about how the wheels were starting to spin, and although last week, from an outsider's perspective, the result is just not what you want. You wanted 3 points. You wanted at least 1 point or something in what you called a derby game. Your greatest rival, New Mexico United, on home grounds at 38th and Washington, but a penalty conceded in the 90th plus 7 by your captain, Pa Marboy. That wasn't what you wanted it to end, but it was echoed by Pa Modoka. It was echoed by Colin Smith. It was echoed by the entire team. They were happy with how they started, and that has been something that has plagued them time and time again, especially over the last month. They were very happy with how they started against New Mexico last week.
Yeah, they were, and that's something like kind of what they said, bringing the intensity back. They finally, they had been saying they felt like they had their wake-up call. They clearly hadn't, and now I feel like they really actually have, and we'll see it in a second here what Pa Modoka has done kind of with the formation, really switching it up. He's been very stubborn about that 4-3-3 so far into the season, but we'll see again in a moment how they think they're going to be able to slow down this complex and very diverse North Carolina attack and make sure they get off on the right foot.
Well, let's take a little peek at the visitors then real quick. This is the Phoenix Rising lineup for tonight. They're standing, at least on our graphic, with what looks to be their normal 4-3-3. We think that it's going to be a little different tonight with likely a back 3. We're going to look at Rafael Chihos, Pop Marboy, and Asela Senga. Your back 3 center backs right through the back. Daniel Flores as the left wing back, Colin Smith as the right wing back, a midfield double pivot of J.P. Skeers and John-Eric Morceau, and an attacking front of Darius Johnson up front on the left, Charlie Dennis up front on the right, and through the middle, or perhaps floating around as a striker, it's going to be the number 10, Hope Avievu, who's also your player to watch tonight, Sammy.
Yeah, Hope Avievu, again, he's going to kind of be up there, says in the graphic at least, up there in the middle. I think he's going to be more of a false 9 tonight, but I mean, he just meshes so well, and everything really, a lot of the offense, not all of it, runs through Hope Avievu. Again, leads the team in chances created and a bunch of other stats. He is going to be the guy tonight, especially getting the ball up towards Charlie Dennis and Darius Johnson, giving them those real opportunities and giving Phoenix the chances of getting off again on the right foot.
Hope Avievu is such an interesting player because he has played, and now he is approaching a 3,000-minute season. He, before this, had never even played 2,000 minutes in a professional season. He is quickly approaching a max load when it comes to what he can do on the pitch, but he has continued to play. And although last week he was on the bench due to, we don't really know, it could have been an illness, it could have been a knock, he has been so pivotal When he's not firing, Sammy, what's your answer for Phoenix Rising on the pitch to find a way to get a goal?
And it's been the guy really throughout the summer and now into the fall. It's Charlie Dennis, the boy from Brighton. He has been so good. He's so dangerous. Had a couple goals a couple weeks ago. Just, again, so dangerous on those free kicks, and it felt like this season, even when we go all the way back to Oakland and that comeback, Texoma in the Open Cup where he had a hat trick, it feels like you need an answer, you need something. Charlie Dennis is the guy.
Charlie Dennis is the guy. We'll take a quick look now at the home side. For North Carolina FC, we have right between the sticks, it's number 22, Oliver Semle, and then Craig, Donovan, Sundstrom, Summersall, Perez, Maldonado, Dalabella, Alcock, DaCosta, and Roberts, a substitute bench of McGuire, Burner, Hodge, Quintanilla, Washington, Mulqueen, and Fitzgerald. But your player to watch is tied with Hope Avievu for chances created in the USL Championship, also tied with assists at 8 apiece with Hope Avievu. It's their own maestro, Mikey Maldonado.
Yeah, Mikey Maldonado, the Texas native, as you just said, tied with Avievu in chances created. That makes it good for 5th in the championship. He's a very key piece to this versatile and very flexible North Carolina attack. Again, what we were just talking about, Phoenix should be prepared for, but we'll see. North Carolina also has really been favoring that right side of their formation for their attacks, where Mikey Maldonado likes to hang out, where he likes to play. So it makes sense, and that'll be the point of emphasis tonight for both sides.
They're also missing a really big piece. Evan Conway tonight, not even on the squad. He's not on the bench. Might be missing with injury. He has 9 goals and an assist on the season through 20 appearances in the USL Championship, almost 1,500 minutes played. He has been one of their, if not their finest goal scorer in 2025. How do they make that up? Because we've talked so often, especially throughout the week at Midweek Media and when we were on the plane, North Carolina likes to throw creative, crazy, and zany attacking fronts. How does North Carolina find their answer through Maldonado, but also how does Phoenix handle not knowing what's going to come at them and the absence of Evan Conway? Is that what the back three is going to do?
Yeah, I think so. And again, it seems like they trained for it in practice all week. Pa's team's ready for it. And again, North Carolina, it just feels like they have guys that can get it done. Pedro Dolabella, he has a lot of goals as well for the team. So, and it feels like a lot of playmakers overall with this North Carolina team, and that's, again, what makes them so versatile and so dangerous. So they're able to kind of just go down the line, and, again, kind of just a next man up mentality for NCFC.
Well, that next man up mentality is going to have to come through in the absence of Evan Conway, in the absence of Olex Anderson. They are missing a few of their finest pieces in attack. The question is, can they find a goal? And the question for Phoenix Rising is, can they get back on track when they need it most? First of their last 3 games, they're going to play now in North Carolina. They will play one more time at home against San Antonio, and their last game will be a frigid one on the lake against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. They have never needed 3 points more than they do now. The answers are held on this pitch for the next 90 minutes. A little bit more on the Phoenix Rising Radio pregame warm-up show on the Phoenix Rising Radio's X and Facebook pages here on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network. Myself, Kevin Cortez, and Sammy O'Brien back in just a moment for a little bit more pregame.
You're listening to Rising Radio, home of the 2023 USL Champions.
Bliss and a burst of red smoke. Phoenix Rising, our home. Welcome to 38th and Washington.
Stick around for more as our broadcast continues.
Join in on the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app. Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app. James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and on the KTUS 1060 app. Each day at work just dragging on. Get your sports fix on the lunch break. Join Chris Schubert and producer Evan live as they give their local perspective on the world of sports. Baseball, football, and basketball. Everything has a home on their plate. It's the lunch break with Chris Schubert, live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KTUS AM 1060, on the KTUS 1060 app, and KTUS 1060 on YouTube.
Buying a house can seem almost impossible, especially today. But with the right agent in your corner, it makes the challenge seem effortless. Hi, I'm Connor Cochran with Good Oak Real Estate, your go-to agent in the Valley. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Because finding the perfect home shouldn't be stressful, it should be exciting. Call 480-688-3200 today. Again, that's 480-688-3200. Let's have the conversation.
Hey Phoenix Rising fans, this is Discount Tire, your hometown tire retailer and trusted partner on the road for over 65 years. We know it can be overwhelming when buying tires, but we're here to help. Our online tire buying guide, Treadwell, makes finding the right tires simple. Just plug in your vehicle, location, and driving habits, and Treadwell will give you unbiased, personalized recommendations based on your needs, not based on price. Inviting, easy, and safe. Just how tire buying should be. Shop tires with Treadwell at discounttire.com. Let's get you taken care of.
And now it's time to get you ready for the match with the Phoenix Rising pregame warm-up on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
Back for a cross-conference showdown, East and West under North Carolina lights. Myself, Kevin Cardez, and my analyst all night long, Sammy O'Brien, live on site here in Cary, North Carolina, here at First Horizon Stadium, a piece of Wake Med Soccer Park. Sammy, it is gorgeous out here and a complete temperature change.
Yeah, it is so cool. It was so nice. High of 70 degrees and cloudy today. Absolutely pristine, gorgeous Arizona-esque sunset out here to our north as well. And great night for some football.
Great night for some football, great temperatures, and Phoenix is in a bit of a pickle. 33 points is good for just 2 above the playoff line, but they are always reminded by the fact that Orange County Soccer Club, which is quickly on their heels, has a game in hand at just 26 played and 31 points. So Phoenix Rising needs to get something big done tonight, and they've been helped out by the fact that the entire bottom of the table has not wanted to jump Phoenix. Between the 4 teams below 8th place, that's Orange County, Monterey Bay, Oakland, and Las Vegas, they have 1 win across their combined last 20 games. That has helped Phoenix a lot when it comes to just staying above the bubble.
Yeah, it really has, but also another thing with Orange County, remember that disaster of a game away at Orange County took the tiebreaker away from Phoenix, so that's another thing they have to keep in the back of their minds. And again, just really adds up the stakes tonight as you can feel it in the locker room, you can feel it at practice this week as well.
It's mounting pressure, and Pa Modoka talked about it in the midweek. He said there's no pressure. It's a privilege to play football, but these are games that have mounted expectations, and maybe you don't feel pressure, but there are expectations to perform here in North Carolina. You think about the leaders on this team, guys like Patrick Rakowski, who's played as a goalkeeper in the Bundesliga, the top flight over in Germany, as has Rafael Schihos. He has also played in the Bundesliga. He's helped a promotion side get back to the Bundesliga. And then you have Dariush Formella, a striker who has been in and out of the squad in 2025, has had his moments where he's played a lot, has had his moments where he's played a little. He's a guy who played a lot as well in the Ekstraklasa over in Poland. He helped win multiple cups. He scored a brace in the 2016 Polish Super Cup. Guys like those should help guide a young team like Phoenix, which is the youngest team in the USL Championship, through moments like this, no?
Yeah, absolutely. And veteran leadership, again, we say his name. We're going to say his name a million times tonight as he's jogging right in front of us right now. Charlie Dennis, 30 years old, a veteran guy. He's played a lot in this championship for Oakland and Tampa Bay. He knows what it's like. So it's really getting the ball through, again, Rafa and Pat on the back line, and then up more with Charlie. It's running it through those guys. Those are the guys that are going to get you through the 90 minutes tonight and get you 3 points.
So then let's talk tactics. This is going to be a different shape for Phoenix. And although they released it in a 4-3-3, we talked about it during the lineup segment, it's probably going to be a back three. You're going to see Rafa, you're going to see Pop, you're going to see Asel as a back three in possession, but then you have the wing backs. Danny Flores and Colin Smith have done one thing really well all year, and that's be progressive. Colin Smith, before the injury, was one of the most, if not the most advanced player in terms of field position in the entire squad, night after night after night. And then you bring in Danny Flores over from Chivas, the hometown guy. He was born in Arizona, comes back to a club that could be considered a hometown team. He has been so good on the ball, and the way that he weaves through midfield blocks has been just a peach to see. So you bring those guys, and what does that change if you're going to switch into a back three? Does the attack get better, and how do you navigate the midfield?
Yeah, so the attack definitely gets better. It gives you more options to spread the ball. And again, both those two have been so good on so many sides. Colin Smith probably went 15 miles back and forth a game. They're going to both be doing that a lot tonight. That's also going to leave some gaps in the midfield. So you're going to have the double pivot of JB Skeers. And more so, the new man on the block got his first start last week. Saw some good things out of him. It can more so make up what JP Skeers can't. And again, advancing the ball up the field a little bit more and just giving Phoenix more flexibility. And you're able to work with the ball on both sides. Again, you're gonna have Darius Johnson, kind of a wild card in a good way, you could say. Always gonna give you a spark. You never know when he's gonna explode for a crazy goal, really just to give you momentum. Or again, you have Charlie Dennis on the other side, who, and again, it's so good. You just feel comfortable with him at the ball in his boots. So it's things like that, and that's really how Phoenix is going to have to attack this one, especially early.
Well, Pamado Khan talked about it in the midweek. He talked about Jean-Eric Morceau's apt foot in terms of sending a smooth, lofted, slow ball that just drifts through the air, curves, and finds the feet of the outswinging players. But he also talked about the fact that he needs to be able to navigate between and also drive the ball forward a little bit better. We'll see how he does in that tonight. One more for you, Sammy. The run-in. These last 5 games, these last, we'll say 7 and 8 games for Phoenix Rising have been a slog. They haven't won since August 23rd at home against Colorado Springs Switchbacks. That was a 4-1 beatdown at home, and it felt like everything was starting to turn around then. And then they string together 5 draws in a row, punctuated by a loss against their biggest rival in New Mexico. This game is a get-right game for Phoenix, but on the other side, North Carolina's not in great form either, and after a poor draw against Birmingham and a 2-0 loss to Detroit last week, they're on a bit of a tumble themselves. It's a little different, though, from the other get-right games that have come into Phoenix or come against Phoenix, because North Carolina has clinched. They are the 3rd place in the East. They already have the X next to their name on the Prink standings. They don't need to play to survive. They need to play to thrive. And if they want to host a better playoff game at home, or they just want to push their seed as high as they can, they need to stay locked in. But that hasn't been the case. How does Phoenix survive another get-right team?
Phoenix, they have to take advantage of the opportunity. And again, Phoenix's form hasn't been the best, but it's been enough, and they've shown pieces of that. And again, they're healthy and really integrating. Chihos really has integrated himself out, really feels like he's a part of it. Same thing with Morso. Hopefully he'll get more into that tonight. So this is really the healthiest you've been all season, and it is the healthiest you're going to get. We'll maybe get into the unavailability report in a little bit, but again, the healthiest you are going to be, so you have to take advantage of that. And it's again going to go back to the tactic as well. You have to hope, and you have to trust in those tactics with the changes you're going to make with completely different looking formation. And that is going to have to work, and you have to start out on the right foot. And we just said that pretty much all year long, Kevin, starting out on the right foot, but it feels like they've actually done something to start out on the right foot this time.
Well, the challenge for Phoenix Rising tonight, start well, end well, bring 3 back to the good, and play San Antonio next week with higher spirits than they do right now. Everything on the line for Phoenix, everything on the line for North Carolina that want to push for a home playoff game in front of a fantastic home crowd. We'll have that end the game here. This has been the Phoenix Rising Radio pregame warm-up show, back after the anthem on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
Coaches and spectators, we request your cooperation and support.
Chukwu's in. Arteaga!
You're listening to Rising Radio, home of the 2023 USL champions.
Red smoke! Phoenix Rising, our home! Welcome to 38th and Washington!
Stick around for more as our broadcast continues.
the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app. Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app. James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app. Each day at work just dragging on. Get your sports fix on the lunch break. Join Chris Schubert and producer Evan live as they give their local perspective on the world of sports. Baseball, football, and basketball. Everything has a home on their plate. It's the lunch break with Chris Schubert, live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060, on the KDUS 1060 app, and KDUS 1060 on YouTube.
Buying a house can seem almost impossible, especially today. But with the right agent in your corner, it makes the challenge seem effortless. Hi, I'm Connor Cochran with Good Oak Real Estate, your go-to agent in the Valley. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Because finding the perfect home shouldn't be stressful, it should be exciting. Call 480-688-3200 today. Again, that's 480-688-3200. Let's have the conversation.
Hey Phoenix Rising fans, this is Discount Tire, your hometown tire retailer and trusted partner on the road for over 65 years. We know it can be overwhelming when buying tires, but we're here to help. Our online tire buying guide, Treadwell, makes finding the right tires simple. Just plug in your vehicle, location, and driving habits, and Treadwell will give you unbiased, personalized recommendations based on your needs, not based on price. Inviting, easy, and safe. Just how tire buying should be. Shop tires with Treadwell at discounttire.com. Let's get you taken care of.
You're listening to the pregame warm-up on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
We'll be back in just a moment. Waiting now for the anthem to kick off here at Wake Med, here at First Horizon Stadium. Stay tuned. Back on just a moment on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
Suzuchuku's in. Arteaga!
You're listening to Rising Radio, home of the 2023 USL champions.
Bliss and a burst of red smoke. Phoenix Rising, our home. Welcome to 38th and Washington.
Stick around for more as our broadcast continues.
Join in on the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app. Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app. James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and on the KTUS 1060 app. Each day at work just dragging on. Get your sports fix on the lunch break. Join Chris Schubert and producer Evan live as they give their local perspective on the world of sports. Baseball, football, and basketball. Everything has a home on their plate. It's The Lunch Break with Chris Schubert, live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KTUS AM 1060, on the KTUS 1060 app, and KTUS 1060 on YouTube.
Buying a house can seem almost impossible, especially today. But with the right agent in your corner, it makes the challenge seem effortless. Hi, I'm Connor Cochran with Good Oak Real Estate, your go-to agent in the Valley. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Because finding the perfect home shouldn't be stressful, it should be exciting. Call 480-688-3200 today. Again, that's 480-688-3200. Let's have the conversation.
Hey Phoenix Rising fans, this is Discount Tire, your hometown tire retailer and trusted partner on the road for over 65 years. We know it can be overwhelming when buying tires, but we're here to help. Our online tire buying guide, Treadwell, makes finding the right tires simple. Just plug in your vehicle, location, and driving habits, and Treadwell will give you unbiased, personalized recommendations based on your needs, not based on price. Inviting, easy, and safe. Just how tire buying should be. Shop tires with Treadwell at discounttire.com. Let's get you taken care of.
The sun's shining, birds are singing, and all feels right in the world.
Until the season changes, and suddenly you lose your motivation to get out of bed. In fact, 1 in 5 people experience some form of depression, no matter the season or time of year.
At the American Psychiatric Association Foundation, our vision is to build a mentally healthy nation for all, because we want you to live your best life and be your best you all year round.
Please visit mentallyhealthynation.org to learn more.
We're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that our daughters have what they need to grow and learn. But that isn't the case for nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. that struggle with hunger.
Childhood hunger is a heartbreaking reality that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and provides it to families and children in need.
You can help kids in need in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
We're good to go here from First Horizon Stadium. Apologies in advance for any technical difficulties. We are live here in Cary, North Carolina. I'm Kevin Cardez with my analyst all night long, Sammy O'Brien, on the Rising Radio Network and Rising Radio's X and Facebook page for this official presentation of the USL Championship and Phoenix Rising FC on Phoenix Rising's X and Facebook pages. Two teams, both with different objectives, but both teams in a spot where 3 points would help them out a lot. Phoenix trying to fight to stay above the playoff line and maybe even make a push into a spot that's a little bit more comfortable in the Western Conference. And North Carolina FC, third place in the East right now, would love to hold the home playoff game here in front of these fans. Looking at maybe 4,500 here packed in to First Horizon Stadium at Wake Med Soccer Park. Phoenix Rising draped in their all-red kits with the white shorts and the red socks. NCFC moving from right to left in their blue, all blue. That's shorts, shirts, socks, a couple cleats too. Waiting now to get going here in Cary. Everything so important here for Phoenix Rising. Sammy O'Brien What does Phoenix need to do to survive the first 15 without conceding?
It's trusting what you came into, and again, it's just running through those veterans and just trusting the coaching staff, because they're making a big change, and a change that I think really needed to happen and in dire times. So it's, again, not getting in front of yourself and not coming out sloppy or flat-footed. Just making the simple passes and taking things one thing at a time, and you'll be just fine.
Taking things one step at a time. That is something that Pa Modoka, the head coach for Phoenix Rising, has echoed. On the other side of things, John Bradford has led North Carolina to a fantastic season in the Eastern Conference. And though last week was rough with a 2-0 loss to Detroit and a 1-1 draw against one of the Eastern Conference bottom feeders in Birmingham Legion, they have been fantastic in 2025 as they get ready and take their team picture here on the near side touchline. Ready to go in just a moment here in Cary, North Carolina. Your referee crew tonight: center referee Elton Garcia leads an AR1 crew of Rhett Hamill, AR2 of Patrick Slane, and fourth official Yannick Rothfuss tonight. They will be the boys in the green and black tonight. Patrick Rakowski wearing the all-black goalkeeper kit, as he has all too often here on the road. The German looking to notch a rare clean sheet in 2025, not just for him, but for Phoenix Rising. Him and Tristan Henry have had a lot of work to do inside the pipes as everybody runs out. Charlie Dennis heads towards the right, Darius Johnson head towards the left, and Hope Abievu will march towards the center circle, trying to get an early look at what this shape will be for Phoenix Rising. They have three center backs out there starting: Rafael Shihos, Popmar Boy, as well as Acela Senge. Then Daniel Flores and Colin Smith also on their left and their right. So many questions, Sammy O'Brien. What do you think is going to happen?
I honestly couldn't tell you, Kevin. I mean, it's been a crazy week, and again, this is the healthiest Phoenix has been. So, I mean, we'll see. Phoenix should get off on the right foot here, and I really think this new formation, this new setup that Pa has dialed up should work out in their favor.
Well, they get off on the right foot of Hope Abievu, who sends a ball backwards, and then Rafael Shihos sends one up and over into the outstretched arms of Oliver Zemle. He's the man in the middle of the pipes for North Carolina tonight, draped in the all-yellow goalkeeper kit as he stands with the ball at his right foot and begins the run of play. Here we go. Craig plays one up through the middle towards Rafael Shihos, who wins the header in the center of the park, then plays down for Morceau, who plays an outstretched ball for Colin Smith, bounding into the final third. Phoenix has a little bit of action early. Colin Smith sends one to Charlie Dennis, edge of the box in the right-hand touchline. Has to get turned around. Good defensive work from North Carolina. Popmore Boy receives, wearing the captain's armband tonight for Phoenix. Rafa, center of the park, playing out for Acel, who's on the left. Daniel Flores, so advanced, drops back in to pick up the ball, chips one forward for JP Scares, who almost backhills one for Daniel. Flores gets it back, loses it out of touch. Early foul ruled in favor there of North Carolina FC, and a yellow card immediately comes out of the pocket for Daniel Flores. First minute of action here, and Danny Flores has already picked up a yellow. That's important because he got sent off for a double yellow that turned into a red card just 2 weeks ago, and he's serving his suspension. Was last week. Now he's back and immediately picks up the earliest yellow card of the season.
Yeah, Danny Flores, again, a very, very vocal, very animated character, so not great that he picked that up early, so now he really has to be careful going forward.
A yellow card has been assessed to Phoenix Rising number 87.
The ball gets pushed back to Semle. Starts the ball on his right foot. That all-yellow goalkeeper kit sends a long ball up and into the night sky. It's completely pitch black here now, something that we're not really used to in Phoenix. That sun's been setting pretty late. Headed along by Jean. Down by Charlie Dennis. Over for JP Scares. Scares finds Abievu, who gets immediately pushed off the ball. Playing one back for Colin Smith, who serves one into the center of the box. Chested down there. Charlie Dennis thrown to ground. Thought he had a case for a foul. Doesn't get it. Through the middle. Number 44. That's Somersault. Plays near the near-hand side touchline for Mikey Maldonado, who's thrown to ground. Another foul against Phoenix Rising. Free kick in the defensive half for North Carolina. Maldonado resets and sends it back for Zemle. Pushing now out to the right-hand side. That's Roberts. Roberts pushes it back again. Lots of slow play early here for the home side. Craig pushed off the ball by Charlie Dennis, who does really well to get him to serve a ball into the stands. That's just a souvenir. Charlie Dennis wins a throw-in deep in the attacking third. It'll be Colin Smith to make the long trot. They are about 30 feet away from the mouth of the net. 4th minute of play here. Apologies for the technical difficulties. Our HDMI card has sort of gone out, so now we're trying to get that back up so we can get you the graphics. Colin plays one back for Pop. Pop plays back to the center circle for Rafa, who is the central center back tonight. Pop Marboy off the right-hand side, Asel Asenge off the left. Asel slicing the ball from half space to half space, finds the head of nobody but Maldonado, who sends one out and over the touchline, and now it's another throw in deep in the attacking third for Phoenix. Colin Smith makes the long trot again. Charlie Dennis receives. Colin Smith is still running over, but the ball is in Charlie Dennis's hands. Flicks it up and into the air. Colin Smith receives with his right hand. Rare in the game of soccer. Smith, 2 hands above his head. Sends one down, booted away quickly there by Craig. Paco Craig wearing the captain's armband tonight for NCFC. 5th minute of play here on the road at WakeMed Soccer Park, First Horizon Stadium. A bunch of names for this place. About 3,000-4,000 people here as it slowly fills out. Charlie Dennis, corner kick, near hand side, serves up to the center of the box. It's lost, and it almost goes over the line. It's still free. Can anybody find it? Jean sends a shot. Here comes Daniel Flores. Misses the near hand post. Quick action there for Phoenix Rising. A little applause there from the home fans. That was dangerous for Phoenix as the ball pinged around 5 or 6 bodies right inside the goalkeeper's 6. Nobody could convert. Jean had a shot. Asel had a shot. Asenge had a shot. Ended with Daniel Flores missing a low-driven ball towards the out-hand side. Quickly restarted now for Phoenix. Thrown in the attacking third. Daniel Flores wipes the ball down. Not a lot of possession so far for North Carolina, and it's almost all been Phoenix. Senge plays back for Rafa. Rafa being chased back by now a more aggressive attacking shape in defense from North Carolina. Pop Marboy does good to wait and serve, but plays a bad pass to Charlie Dennis, who gets it out of pressure and is thrown to ground by Maldonado. 2 hands to the back of Charlie Dennis, and a hand from the center referee turns into a free kick in the attacking half, played backwards for Pop Marboy. Senegalese center back, the captain in 2025 when he's played, missed a little bit of time with a knee injury, plays one back for his German goalkeeper Patrick Rakowski. Patrick has been better as of late. Almost had a clean sheet against New Mexico, but a last-minute penalty conceded by the captain, Pop Marboy, turned into some trouble, and here's some trouble from North Carolina, but Charlie Dennis shoves it out. Charlie does well to maneuver and almost plays one for Morceau, who doesn't take it up, and it's played through the lines. JP Skeers nodding one forward. Darius Johnson almost gets involved, still hasn't had a touch. Morceau, center of the park, lots of traffic. Marboy gets it free. Phoenix everywhere defensively, but a poor pass played by Jean. Colin Smith can't quit there. He just stops, stares, and watches it go over the near hand side. Mikey Maldonado with a throw in, pretty much dead on at the half space. Rodrigo da Costa, Pedro Dalabella, the ones up front for NCFC. They're looking, that's number 16 and number 8. They will track up top, right through the middle. Summersall, Perez, Maldonado tied exactly with Hope Avayevu. There's a beautiful pass played down the channel. Here comes North Carolina as everybody crashes back for Phoenix, but it's easily snuffed out by Pop Marboy. Action on the other side looked like Dalabella almost had an actual chance. Hope Avievu has a chance to run now there and is almost thrown to ground, but beautiful stand-up defense there from Connor Donovan. Everybody's starting to usher forward. Now finally, Sammy O'Brien has rejoined me. How was the search for an HDMI cord?
You know, it got a little frantic there, but we got things figured out. And again, it's a gorgeous night for some football, and Phoenix has been really has held their own through these first 7 or so minutes.
Well, Mikey Maldonado will make the long run over and dry off the ball in the exact same way that Flores did in his own attacking third now. All blue jerseys for North Carolina tonight here in the 8th minute. Still 0-0 between NCFC and PRFC. Long thrown up into the box. Finds the head there of Dalabella, but it goes up and over the goalpost. Patrick Rakowski watches that one sail. And we'll restart with the goal kick for Phoenix. We'll give Sammy O'Brien just a moment to assess the game and take a peek at what's actually happening here before I ask him any questions. But so far it has been a back three center backs. It's Rafa, Pop, and Asel. Asel off the left, Pop off the right, Rafa through the middle. Morceau plays a beautiful laid-off pass for Charlie Dennis, who has to send it back after some pressure comes right down. Our boy through the center for Rafa. Stops with his right foot. Almost plays back for Pop, but sides the other way. skips a line, tries to find JP Skiers, nowhere near him. Center of the park, a little action for NCFC now as JP Skiers stops the progression in its tracks. And that's what he's been so good at, Sammy, stopping the ball when it needs to be stopped, as a poor ball is played there on the near-hand side for North Carolina. And it is a throw-in for NCFC. That did not touch Colin Smith. We have a dead-on angle on that, but it's tough if the AR is not there. Back to JP Skiers, so good over the last few weeks.
Yeah, he really has been. I mean, he's earned it. He's earned his stripes within this team coming over from Union Omaha. Championship experience, big pressure experience as well. Another good guy to lean on tonight.
Dolabella almost wins a crucial header right on top of the box, but Colin Smith wins it back, moving back inside his right-hand half space, almost into the corner. Potmore Boy just has to clear. Hope Avievu in the area. Can he chest it down? Not tall enough. Almost loses it in the lights instead. Big number 20, Connor Donovan, hops up and over the 5'8" frame of Hope Avievu and just heads it down. Avievu.
That's just unfortunate for Hope, too. Hope is so good at winning duels and aerial duels, given his size, about 5'6", 5'7", but, and again, he kind of lost that other one, too, there, committed the foul.
No words for that one, Sammy O'Brien, no words. Slicing ball played down the channel. Can Daniel Flores get there in time? Beautiful idea there from number 5. That's Craig from North Carolina, sent a slicing ball on the half line all the way up into the far hand right side corner, but couldn't quite get there. Nobody was in the area. Daniel Flores did just enough with his body to shield off any actual run. The ball goes over the end line, and another goal kick restart for Phoenix. It's Rakowski. Left hand places the ball down with his palm. Bright yellow boots stand behind it. Now waiting for somebody to engage the press and make something happen. Thomas Roberts, the 6th, stands to the left of Rakowski, but plays for Asel, who immediately darts into the attacking half. Beautiful run by Asel Asenge, now playing a slicing ball through. Can anybody get there? Nope, just Zemle. High into the night sky. Will anybody win that? Almost goes out of touch, but it stays all the way in. That's on the far hand side. North Carolina retains possession through the middle. More so almost wins, but a foul ruled 10 seconds after the action from center referee Elton Garcia stops the play. It was initially play on for North Carolina. They restart it in the right-hand side. They play backwards. Craig to Donovan. Back to their goalkeeper, Semle. Top of the box. 11th minute, 0-0. Phoenix and North Carolina. Phoenix hovering just 2 points above the playoff line as a ball cuts through the midfield block of Phoenix Marceau, and JP Skiers sees 2 go out. And another ball ruled in favor of North Carolina. Maldonado will take the throw in right in front of us. Played back there. Sundstrom loses it to Avievu. Avievu takes a soft touch as Charlie Dennis gets booted to ground, and there's no foul ruled from Elton Garcia. Charlie Dennis just took boots to cleats. That's rough. Marboy loses one, and Marceau takes a ball to the chest from Pop Marboy, who watched a foul get called for North Carolina after Charlie Dennis got thrown to ground. It's been chippy so far, Sammy.
Yeah, it's been pretty chippy. That one, to me, definitely Charlie Dennis definitely should have gotten a whistle, but he was in pain for a second there. I was a little worried. He fell kind of awkwardly through the contact, but up and running around now, seems to be fine. But yeah, chippy so far is another thing you can't let your emotions get to you on a night like this. And again, Daniel Flores with that early yellow card already.
Daniel Flores with, I think, the earliest booking of 2025 for any Phoenix Rising player. Rafael Chios wins a hearty duel in the center of the park and plays down for Darius Johnson, who's now dancing on the left side touchline. Little stutter step, does 1, does 2, almost gets through 3 defenders. No foul ruled. Elton Garcia just puts his hands in the air like, I don't know what you saw. Darius Johnson tracks back. Daniel Flores can't jar it free. Beautiful triangulation from NCFC, but it's jarred away by Darius Johnson, who sends a slicing ball up and over to nobody but the goalkeeper from North Carolina. Oliver just picks that one up, keeps it in touch. Goal kick, restart now for NCFC. DJ thought that he had the run of Charlie Dennis, but Charlie wasn't in the area. Maybe he was in Raleigh, certainly wasn't in Cary. 13th minute, 0-0, Phoenix and NCFC. Restart through the middle for Zemle. Slow track and walk. Hope Avievu hasn't begun the press yet. High line. It's essentially a 5-4-1 in defense. It looks like Hope Avievu is going to run a little bit, but when they don't have the ball, Colin Smith and Daniel Flores are drifting back and assisting their 3 center back pairing right through the middle. That's Pop, Rafa. Charlie Dennis almost gets a ball free right in the box, but North Carolina does well to serve. Maldonado just has to clear high into the night sky, headed away by Pop Marboy. That's what he does best. Here comes Daniel Flores, and he'll find his goalkeeper, Patrick Rakowski. NCFC for a moment, shot out of a cannon, but Pedro Dolabella couldn't quite get there. Rakowski slows the run of play here in the 14th minute. Rakowski back for Rafa, standing right on top of the Phoenix box. Still waiting for Roberts to engage the press. He still won't. Rafa lays one down for Pop. Pop now caught out of position, and Asela Senge is trapped on the touchline. They have to play with a back two for a moment. Morceau drops back to get possession, sends a sky-high ball for Charlie Dennis, only finds the forehead for North Carolina. Here's Mikey Maldonado now, center of the park, plays one back. Paco. Over for Donovan. Just a poor pass that hits nothing but the end-line board. And now another throw-in in the attacking half. Not quite the attacking third for Phoenix, but it's immediately thrown backwards from Flores to Assel. Now for Skierce. Skierce back for Danny. A little pressure on his back hit. Plays one late along for Asela Senge now. Rafa through the middle. Defensive half. Asela Senge again. Poor pass played. Here comes North Carolina. Easily intercepted. Everybody has a run here. Center of the park there. Can they find the chest of Dalabella? Keeps it in touch, but the motion just stops for a moment. Phoenix has a chance to get set. 4 through the middle, 1 up top, back 5. That line is going to be tough to beat tonight if they stay organized, Sammy. That's been something that they have been, sort of not at times. They've been unorganized when it comes to the passion, and that's what we've asked Pa Modoka before. How do you not turn passion and intensity into aggression and being unorganized?
Yeah, and I think going back to the unorganization part, I think that's partially what that poor pass from Masengo was, that turnover that Phoenix was able to clean up. But I think it's like that, and they're trying to, and you saw they went back immediately with that throw, and I think they're trying to build out the bat and really set up that formation, make sure Flores and Colin Smith are down the field enough, because at times when they kind of come out of a goal kick or something, Smith and Flores are up there with the front line. It's almost like a front 5 for a moment as well. Phoenix really aggressive. It really feels like there is a sense of urgency tonight.
They need a sense of urgency. Right now, just 1 point's not enough. They need to find a win in one of these last 3 games, and none of them are easy. San Antonio sitting in home playoff position in the Western Conference. North Carolina FC sitting in home position in the Eastern Conference playoffs. And Pittsburgh is never an easy game, especially when you have to play on that ice-cold river. Foul ruled in favor of Phoenix. Far side AR2 rules in favor. That's Patrick Slane. Colin Smith makes the long run over. It's going to be a free kick in the defensive half for Phoenix. So everybody tracks back, but so far, not a lot in general. I say not a lot and look for a word. There's not a lot going on, Sammy.
No, there really isn't. For the first couple minutes, it felt like Phoenix was sort of knocking on the door, and then it kind of just got pushed back, and now it kind of feels like we're at a stalemate here. Phoenix trying to send a couple long balls, and here comes another one.
Charlie Dennis heads one right towards the goalkeeper, but Colin Smith wasn't quite there. That was a beautiful flicked on header from Charlie. If anybody was a few steps forward, could have been dangerous for Phoenix, but instead restarts back with the goalkeeper, and Zemley just walks us one to the top of his box. Has Paco to his left and Donovan to his right. Avievu and Charlie Dennis are pressed up in defense. As everybody starts to get back, you see Colin Smith and Daniel Flores sync back with the center backs, and that back 5 becomes a real thing. Missed there by Rafa, who loses a ball to Alcock, and now it looks like Roberts gets thrown to the ground in the center of the park. Foul ruled against JP Skierce. Those were some strong boots, as Ahmad is a little slow to get up for North Carolina. Splitting ball there from Somersault. Finds Sundstrom on the far right side. Centered. Roberts. Top of the box. Still with North Carolina, but beautiful feet from Charlie Dennis. Just wins a quick duel, but immediately lost out there to Perez. Perez on top of the box finds Robert again. Chipped up and over. Rakowski will just have to find it in the box. There's a small bit of contact there for Maldonado and Colin Smith. Maldonado rolled to the ground, but Colin Smith now has the ball. Maldonado gets back right in front of him. Defensive half for Phoenix. They'll try to settle the play. Asela Senge puts his hands towards the ground as if to say, let's slow this one down. You see that midfield little pivot of Morceau and JP Skierce working so hard in defense, but they need to find something to get that ball forward. Colin Smith wins a hardy challenge, keeps it in touch, bodies forward for Phoenix. Colin Smith bounding into the box, finds a cross, it's backheeled! There it is, but the flag is up. Near side official rules it offsides. Darius Johnson had a goal, but the near side official says it's not good. Brutal break for Phoenix. Hard to tell who was offside. It was so quick from Colin Smith, who was so advanced with the ball. You have to wonder who was offside because there was only a few inches between Colin Smith and the goal line for Phoenix. Kept it in touch with the beautiful right foot. Chips forward across. How was anybody offside there? Maybe it was Hope, but DJ just puts a boot to it and finds the far left corner. Phoenix doesn't get a goal out of it, though. Asela Senge wins one in the center of the park. Jean puts one back through. Phoenix is going to try to get it back on their own. Avayevu high into the night sky for Charlie Dennis, headed down there by Paco, and Paco heads it out of touch. Throwing on the near hand side in the attacking third for Colin Smith now. So deflating, Sammy O'Brien.
Yeah, so deflating, but again, you can't let your emotions get to you, and it seems like they're really letting him play. Like a minute ago on that last North Carolina possession when Maldonado went to ground, a couple people on the pitch wanted a foul, but I don't think that ball was ever going to get to Maldonado. And then there when Colin Smith won that challenge, he stood there for a second. He thought for sure the whistle was going to be blown. It wasn't, and then they went down and nearly capitalized on the opportunity. A beautiful cross from Colin Smith.
Just a tough one to lose there. If you're Phoenix, you think that you break open and finally get that opening punch that you've been missing for so long. Beautifully chipped along ball there for Avayevu and Charlie Dennis, and they wanted play on instead. Charlie Dennis starts to scream in anger because Avayevu gets thrown to ground. Phoenix clearly has possession, but Elton Garcia, as Charlie Dennis breaks away with the ball, blows it dead, and it's a free kick in the attacking half, played immediately back by Jean for Rafa, now out for a cell. So much happening at once here. 19th minute, still 0-0, Phoenix and North Carolina at First Horizon Stadium at Wake Med Soccer Park. One of the most important games, perhaps the most pressure-filled road game for Phoenix in 2025. They've never needed 3 more than they need it now. So important. The only game played on Friday night. The worst part about this, Sammy, we won't know how the other results fall until tomorrow afternoon. I'm sure that both of us will be watching as Avayevu tries to chip one forward, instead loses it in the middle of the Somersault, who finds Roberts. Roberts now trapped in the center park. Donovan back for Paco. Maldonado on the near hand side. Puts a smooth left boot to the ball, but rolls his right foot over and plays back there for Paco. Connor Donovan calling for the ball, tracking back, he receives. There goes Avayevu on the press as well. Can they find Roberts? Far touchline. Back for Connor Donovan again. Played back for the goalkeeper. Now Phoenix has to find a way to fight through that initial frustration here. 20 minutes through. That one could linger. Flores, 2 hands to the back of Alcock, but manages to win the ball back on his own. And now Acela Senge running back as Rafael Shihos is now the center back on the right-hand side touchline. Pop. Long ball up and into the night sky. You can see Terrius Johnson make an active effort just to stay on sides as Ahmad from North Carolina sends a ball up and over. And a foul or something maybe on the pitch. Elton Garcia pointing.
Something shiny out there.
I think that might just be water, but something's being pointed out over there. It's a restart for North Carolina. They play back for their goalkeeper. And Oliver, as he's done all night long so far, 21 minutes through in this 0-0 contest between Phoenix Rising and North Carolina FC here on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network. Kevin Cardez and Sammy O'Brien just slow walks the ball, center of the park. Roberts does well to win the ball back for his own team, and here comes North Carolina on the break as well. Ahmad making himself available. There's bodies forward here for NCFC as everybody starts to crash into the box, but it's snuffed out by Jean. Beautiful time and place there for Morceau. Immediately won back by North Carolina. Some more action inside the box. Here comes the cross. Can anybody get there in a blue shirt? JP Skiers does just enough. He wins the ball back and finds his midfield counterpart in Jean-Eric Morceau. Avayevu's thrown to ground. 2 hands to the back from Connor Donovan. And Hope Avayevu wins the foul. It's a crucial one in the defensive third for Phoenix. That's what he does so well, Sammy.
Oh, yeah, he's so good. And I said it earlier. He's just so good. He wins so many duels. He wins so many contests like that. And then you need to be able to use that feel, also use that feel from that offside call and that foul call on Hope. Also, a pretty late whistle at that where Phoenix definitely had the advantage, but it's going to be feeling that into something, into offense, and not getting too caught up in the moment. Also, the wind is to your back when they're attacking from left to right on your radio dial right now in this half. So again, the moment could not be better for Phoenix.
Beautiful defensive work on the ground as Colin Smith just scurries around, keeps the ball, loses the ball, keeps the ball, all while on his chest, and jars it free for Hope Avayevu, who loses the ball to a sea of blue bodies. Mikey Maldonado now in the defensive third for North Carolina. 2 boots on the ball, sends a cross right through the middle as Rafael Shihos uses some strong elbows, but also some core strength to throw his defender off. And Rafa wins the ball back. Rakovsky back for Rafa again. Now in the defensive half for Phoenix. 2 hands in the sky for Acel saying, I didn't see it. Me neither. Rafa back out for Acel on the left-hand side. Immediately pressured there by Ahmad. Rafa gets turned around as well. Rakovsky now has the press coming towards him. Plays it right back for Rafa, who stays rooted in his spot. It does just enough for Charlie Dennis to lose the ball to Roberts. as Maldonado now has to play it back for his own goalkeeper. Left to right, left to right. Not a lot of cohesive, strung-through play, though, Sammy O'Brien, for either team.
No, not really. It feels like a couple times Phoenix has moved the ball back to really kind of build out of the back, and then all of a sudden they try and send a long ball for Hope Avievu, who's not expecting one, or things of that nature where he kind of just tossing a possession away.
Still in the middle with Connor Donovan. Back for Oliver Zemle. Right foot to the ball, just tracking it out as Charlie Dennis lets him take space. Finally, the North Carolina goalkeeper plays one low and strong for J.P. Skeers. And now J.P. Skeers trying to start the break on his own. A little pressure on Hope Avievu's hip. Turns into a slip and slide for Charlie Dennis, who just falls to ground. Nothing from Elton Garcia there either. Charlie Dennis didn't complain. He knew that he just slipped. Pitch was a little wet when we went down there. It's not raining yet, but it's slated to rain tomorrow, and they watered it right before kickoff. Probably the right call. DaCosta. Right touchline. Charlie Dennis on his hips. DaCosta plays one back now for Roberts. Roberts plays back for Zemle. Right in front of the mouth of his goal as well. Defensive shape taking place again for Phoenix as the back five drifts forward. The high line gets pressed. Beautiful touch on the near hand side. You can hear the fans really appreciating that. It was a beautiful ball from Maldonado to Roberts. Through the middle now. Perez. Maldonado. Somersault back for Perez. Stuck in the left-hand side in the defensive half. They'll have to find a skip. Charlie Dennis concedes it. Maldonado, near-hand side from Roberts. Plays back again. Paco. Donovan, left to right. Donovan plays now for Robert. Thomas Roberts, Mikey Maldonado, now on the left-hand side, switching back and forth, trying to find the space. Now they finally do. Here comes Dolabella. Here comes Roberts. Roberts into the center of the box. Rafa puts a strong boot to the ball. Cancels out the crosses. Charlie Dennis with some crafty footwork finds Mikey Maldonado. Time and time again, Mikey in the right place at the right time. Somersault.
North Carolina has done a good job keeping it through Maldonado and those guys, keeping it on that side of the formation, eventually creating a gap in the midfield, which happened there, and then it was able to finally get them into the attacking third, but Phoenix is able to get back, and they've done a really good job getting back all night, especially dropping into that back five.
J.P. Skeers commits a foul there off the ball as Elton Garcia takes a small walk over. Not sure who went down to ground there, but it's on the right-hand side for North Carolina. A hand to the air for Garcia. Looked like Connor Donovan. Restarted for North Carolina. Oliver plays for Paco. Center back pairing, sending a slicing one up through the middle. Rafa concedes the action, but the offside flag goes up. Just a step offsides was Rodrigo DaCosta. Had a good run, caught Rafa on his back foot, maybe because he was offsides.
It's a chance.
27th minute, 0-0. Little offsides doesn't hurt Phoenix in that regard. They are going to be thinking about the offsides call about 10 minutes ago in which Darius Johnson scored a tap-in. It was also ruled offsides from a cross that came from Colin Smith, who was nearly parallel with the goalpost.
Such a perfect goal, too, that got taken away. Another thing to point out, Kevin, Pamodoka has not sat down once tonight. Standing there, arms crossed, very, very vocal. Obviously a very vocal guy. He's a head soccer coach, but more engaged tonight.
Also wearing a Hugo Boss t-shirt. I think the last time we saw this one was in Lexington. It's a good shirt. I like it. It's oddly, it's Charlie Dennis wins a header. Perez, it's his forehead that hits it last right in front of us here in the attacking half. I think the last time we saw the Hugo Boss tee was Lexington, like I said. And this is a guy who wears suits, wears vests, wears sweaters, but sometimes he wears an unzipped black jacket with a Hugo Boss t-shirt. That's versatility from the Gambian head coach who's done so much as a player and as a head coach. Now here in Phoenix trying to make his mark. He was a lead assistant for, actually, funnily enough, Charlotte in the MLS before he came and won the head job here in Phoenix as North Carolina wins the ball back in the attacking third. Here comes another chance for a cross from the boys in blue as Acela Senge wins the ball, and it's a throw-in deep in the defensive third for Phoenix Rising. Tidy, timely, and tidy from Acela Senge on the far-hand side. and it's immediately won back by North Carolina. A ball booted right to the sky for Connor Donovan, who finds the head of Daniel Flores, and JP Skiers lets one fall for Hope Avayevu. Phoenix has a little bit of action, and then they lose it to Sundstrom. In North Carolina, again, somersault, center of the park. Charlie Dennis does enough to turn him around. Mikey Maldonado is dropped back pretty much as a left back. Mikey, left touchline, stops and stutters, trying to find somersault, opts for the center. Ahmad, down for somersault. Here comes the run from DaCosta! Missed the near post. What a stinging strike there from Rodrigo DaCosta. Almost had a goal. Rakowski watches that one sail just inches away from his far hand side. But after it all shakes out, Sammy, it's a goal kick and a restart for Phoenix Rising.
Yeah, it is. You take a deep breath after that one. DaCosta, I thought he could have taken at least a touch or two to get closer to the mouth of the net. Phoenix grateful he did not.
29th minute, still 0-0. 7 fouls so far against Phoenix, just 4 against North Carolina. They've been a little frustrated with the officiating. It's something to take note of, especially after that offsides call that disallowed a goal. That would have been a rare opening goal in the opening stanza for Phoenix. Mikey Maldonado chests the ball out of touch. Colin Smith now has a throw-in pretty much dead even at the middle of the pitch. Plays it back for Pop Marboy, the captain tonight for Phoenix Rising, the captain in 2025 when he's healthy. Lost again, somersault. Good defensive effort, but Asela Senge's there and almost pushes somersault off the ball. He does, and it's another thrown in the attacking third for Phoenix. Asela Senge is everywhere, and I just wish that it was on our side so we could see just how great it was. That was so good from Asela Senge.
Yeah, it was. He's been all over the pitch tonight. He's even brought the ball up, trying to create opportunities on the attacking half as well. But again, kind of little victories like that are something you should take into account a little bit more as Phoenix kind of trying to get the momentum back.
Well, Colin Smith almost gets a toe to the ball. The flag stays down from the officials. Colin Smith on the edge of the box is going to try to find a runner. Who's going to be the tailgate? Will it just be Colin Smith on his own, dancing, trying to beat Mikey Maldonado, turns around, drops Mikey Maldonado. Here comes Colin Smith, sails it into the back stand. Lots of confidence when you drop a guy like Mikey Maldonado to the ground. Almost had it. And funnily enough, I think that there's a chance that Maldonado and Colin Smith coincided at North Texas. Mikey Maldonado, a North Texas guy, played for North Texas SC. There's a chance that Colin Smith, who also did that, was there. You never know. There's a chance for a lot of guys like that, in fact. I doubt Hope Avayevu, but so many North Texas guys on this Phoenix Rising team. It wouldn't be a shock if Mikey Maldonado knew a few. It's also interesting that Isan Inosaka, who's on the bench tonight, played in Ligue 1 with Patrice Berner from North Carolina. They both made starts in the top flight over in France together at one point. Berner was playing in Champions League quals, Europa League on the midweeks. Pretty good football over there. Isan Sako, same team, playing almost as much as well before he left and then went to Avranches and Strasbourg, finally making his mark in Phoenix. Leading scorer for Phoenix Rising in 2025 as well. Currently on the bench. We'll see when he enters, if he does. Fairly professional bench tonight for Phoenix. We'll get into it a little bit later at halftime. But so far, 32 minutes through, Sammy, I don't know if much needs to change besides the fact that the offside flag needed to stay down.
Yeah, I really think so. I mean, it's been, again, just kind of stalemate. It's a lot of sloppy passes. A few too many times where Phoenix got the ball and then just gave it right back.
Well, and they give it right back there, but it looks like Dolabella can't get there. And a foul ruled in favor of Phoenix Rising is going to really frustrate Dolabella, who
Senge again, yeah,
thought that he had a run, thought that he had a trailer too, as DaCosta was right on his hip, played a ball right through, found the waiting run there of somersault. Instead, foul for Phoenix Rising, restart in the defensive half. Rafa will take that. Asel back for Rakowski. The German stops it with his left foot. Plays a slicing ball towards Colin Smith, who's going to have to ward off instant pressure, and he does. Beautiful touch there from Avayevu, Colin Smith, and Charlie Dennis right through the center of the park. Charlie Dennis dancing, going from right to left. Now finding Daniel Flores as all the bodies crash up and through. It's Darius Johnson, JP Skiers, and Hope Avayevu. Here comes the cross. JP Skiers puts a head to it and misses the near post. So close there for JP. They found the target. Daniel Flores just darting down that left-hand side. It was so clinical from Phoenix, but it just ends in another goal kick for North Carolina FC.
Yeah, just a bit off, just missing a little bit on that ball from Daniel Flores, just a tad too low. And again, you found your guy. You found JP Skeers down there, who was almost offsides. He was able to catch himself, get back onside. But can Phoenix string it into something in these next 13 or so minutes plus stoppage time?
4 shots for Phoenix to North Carolina's 0. That's a rarity over the last month and a half. Phoenix not only leading the shots category, but also not really giving up much. North Carolina might have a chance here, though. A back heel pass there from Dolabella, trying to find the run of DaCosta. Foul ruled in favor now in the attacking half for North Carolina. Elton Garcia waves the hand towards the left.
A semi-dangerous free kick here, Kevin. A set piece, something Phoenix struggled on at the start of the year, and they have gotten better ever since. But again, have to stay in it mentally. It's been a lot of whistles, especially against you tonight. A lot of whistles on North Carolina's side of the pitch. Again, going both ways, but still, really have to not let the officiating get to you too much. Something that Phoenix struggles with from time to time.
It'll be Mikey Maldonado to take the free kick. He's the only man near the ball. His closest after that looks to be Perez. We'll see what he does. Mikey Maldonado, a one-man wall of Hope Avayevu to beat Darius Johnson, also off to the side. Here comes a curler into the box, headed away there by Sundstrom. Still there with Roberts as Asela Senge gets a forehead to it and pushes it along for Darius Johnson, who nods one forward for Hope Avayevu. Put down by Charlie Dennis. Chip forward again for Avayevu. Here comes the runners for Phoenix Rising. It's going to be Jean-Eric Morceau who makes the run too. Charlie Dennis, one touch from Avayevu, plays one through, almost finds Darius Johnson. One back and back heel by Avayevu. Charlie Dennis on the edge of the box. Morceau, chip forward. Colin Smith! It's batted away. Charlie Dennis finds the back of the net. A knee slide, and finally Phoenix Rising is on the front foot for the first time in what feels like forever. It's 1-0 Phoenix Rising. So clinical. Charlie Dennis puts one away. Colin Smith had a shot. And off the rebound, who else but the boy from Brighton, Sammy O'Brien. Charlie Dennis finds the back of the net.
Just so good from the start of that build-up all the way down to the field. Hope with the recovery after Charlie Dennis initially gave it away. And Phoenix sticks with the play. They stick through it, and they're up 1-0 in a big spot for the boys in red. Charlie Dennis coming through big once again. It's that veteran leadership, Kevin.
So important. Charlie Dennis has been on an absolute tear. He started the year in a boot, and we didn't know when Charlie Dennis would be back. And it's always tough when you miss the opening parts of the season, because then you have to work your way into your own preseason. But that's his 6th goal for Phoenix Rising in USL Championship play in 2025. That's completely disregarding the fact that he's the leading scorer for Phoenix Rising in the USL Jägermeister Cup, in which he was absolutely lethal as Darius Johnson wins another ball. Phoenix wants more. Darius Johnson playing through for Daniel Flores. Flores has runners now too. Chip forward down for Charlie Dennis, center of the box. Hope Avayevu stings one over the top of the crossbar. Phoenix wants more. They want 2. 36-minute, 1-0 Phoenix Rising. They're going to keep pressing. But Charlie Dennis, Sammy O'Brien, that's his 6th goal now in 2025 in the championship. That's going to be his 9th on the year so far in play. But 6 goals in what was 870 minutes played is fantastic rate basis for Charlie Dennis. Add in 2 more assists, he's almost firing something every 90 minutes. He has been so crucial for the club.
Yeah, and right there again, I think it would have fallen over if he put that one in, to be quite frank with you. But again, now we didn't even get the chance to talk about it because that all happened so quick. The goal cooldown period, something we've emphasized a lot this season. Really a big thing to keep an eye on here in these next 6 or so minutes.
These next 6 and 7 minutes, as important as it gets, as Potmore boys shield some pressure and find Jean forward. More bodies for Phoenix Rising in the attacking third. JP Skeers evading some pressure, falls to ground. Really good there from Roberts. Charlie Dennis, hands on the hips there of Roberts, and Charlie just sort of laughs it off. Only 1 booking so far in the match, and start to hear a little bit of banter from the fans here on the near-hand side. We aren't on the side of the tall stand. If you know what First Horizon Bank looks like, there's a really tall stand on one side. It's a second deck. There's about 2,500 seats on it. They close it down for the men's games, but it opens up for the Courage, which is their women's team. They have a fantastic following. They're on the playoff bubble right now for North Carolina, trying to find their way through final 3 games of the season. They have an international break to fight through. They close that down, so we're not over there. We're on the other side, but plenty of fans right near us. I believe the TV cameras look the other direction, but there's a good crowd on this side. Foul ruled against Phoenix as Alcock falls to ground. And then 2 hands to the chest there for a North Carolina player. It looks like maybe J.P. Skiers. Daniel Flores immediately backing away, so you know it's not him. And Darius Johnson receives a yellow card, even though there were 2 hands to his chest. DJ was the one thrown to ground.
Can only imagine what he said leading up to that shove.
I'm not close enough. I have no clue. It was probably something along the lines of, love you so much, or maybe,
hey man, really good to see you today.
This is a great game, isn't it?
It's a gorgeous night.
I imagine it was something along those lines. How could you ever push comments like that? 1-0 Phoenix. 39th minute here on the road in Cary, North Carolina at First Horizon Stadium, Wakemed Soccer Park, home of a few soccer fields, all of them gorgeous. It was fantastic here getting set up. It's fairly cold too, low 60s, might fall into the high 50s, you never know. I'm wearing a jacket for the first time in a while. Always nice when that happens. A little October football that feels like October. Ball restart with North Carolina. Played through by Connor Donovan. Finds Ahmad. Opa Avievu wins one back and tries to find the goalkeeper off of his line. Almost does. Avievu had a clear-cut idea. Oliver is off his line. He is 20 feet to the right of his nearest post. I'm going to try to slot this one in. He was a few feet away from doing something dangerous. Paco restarted from North Carolina out to Donovan. No assist there for Charlie Dennis to shot off the rebound, so it'll be a solo goal for the British boy. Poor pass played off the right shoulder there. Nice touch of Pamodoka, who immediately wipes it off the jacket. It's a crisp, crisp jacket. Don't mess up the tee. Long ball up and over, trying to find Charlie Dennis, who's thrown to ground there
right at me
by Paco. Charlie Dennis wins a free kick. It's fairly dangerous, Sammy. I'd say this is, 38 yards from the mouth of the net? Maybe you pull a little something out of the training ground.
Yeah, I'd say about so. When Charlie Dennis, especially on the right side, especially with Maldonado, using his size to advantage. Charlie Dennis, a 6 guy, 6'2", 180, 190, I'd say. So, been able to use that to advantage that, drop multiple fouls in. The ever so dangerous left boot of Charlie Dennis gearing up for another free kick.
Charlie Dennis shadow cast over the ball, standing 2 feet to the right of it, right arm to the sky, sends a left-footed in-swinging ball to the back post, finds the head of Potmar Boy, almost finds the far post. Close, but no cigar for Phoenix. Stays 1-0. 41st minute here for Phoenix Rising against North Carolina. Mikey Maldonado makes the long try. It's a goal kick restart here for Zemle and crew. Donovan plays back for Oliver. Paco Craig standing to the left. He's the left-sided center back tonight for North Carolina. Connor Donovan off to the right. Paco wearing the captain's armband on his left arm. All of the space in the world for Zemle as he just trots up halfway through the defensive half, and a ball snuffed out there by Rafael Shihos, and he's going to try to find runners on his own. Chopping one forward, Darius Johnson can't quite make the run. Right idea. Not enough people in the area. 42nd minute. Mikey Maldonado now, near side touchline. Somersault. Zemle. Goalkeeper plays one out.
Zemle was almost off his line there again too. The difference between him and Darius Johnson was probably on about 7 or 8 yards. So Darius Johnson would have had a touch and a very good shot on goal. Just a little too strong from Shihus, but right idea for sure. Good eyes from the veteran Shihus.
Finn Sundstrom was the man to stop that one in its tracks. North Carolina has a really good throw in forward. Dalabella loses it, and a foul ruled against North Carolina. In the attacking half for them, nearly the defensive third for Phoenix. It was an encroaching ball, but 2 arms to the back of Rafael Shihos, who was brought in on what was stated to be a deal that extends through next year. So he's part of the long-term plans. And Sammy, this is something that we should maybe touch on at halftime, but we'll hit it now too. There are a few guys that have already been brought around with the intention that they'll be here for next year. Jean-Eric Marceau was talked about on a long-term loan. Shiho signs a 2-year deal. Colin Smith gets extended. JP Skiers gets extended. And the pieces start to fall into place for a team that wants to build something for now and for later. And that's what they've been focused on. And you hear Paul Winoka hint on it as in, hey, we are going to build something that's sustainable. As Marceau commits a foul in the center of the park and another little dust-up. As Ellen Garcia waves his hands away and says, just walk away. We don't need this one to happen. but long-term sustainability, something that Phoenix has really struggled with for the past 3 seasons.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that happens a little bit. You won the championship in 2023, championship hangover, and again in the league where it's really hard to build like that. You see a lot of teams don't even, or not a lot of teams, a few teams in the league don't even attempt to build. They kind of just bring in players and kind of ship them out. So Phoenix trying to not do that in building something, and I think they've really put themselves on the right foot, especially here in the last couple of weeks with signings and extensions.
Well, the right foot of Daniel Flores jars the ball free as a chip-through ball for Jean-Eric Marceau turns into possession for Colin Smith now. Breaking over into the attacking half for Phoenix. Colin Smith, one-touch ball from Jean. Backheeled there by Charlie Dennis. Colin Smith almost gets to it, and a coming together turns into a foul, also ruled in favor of Phoenix by the AR1 on the near side. Mikey Maldonado tried to get it and start running away. Colin Smith will be the one to throw it in. Now on the edge of the attacking third for Phoenix. Colin Smith wiping his hands off before touching the ball. Long red sleeves tonight for Colin Smith, as is the case for a few others. Selasenge with the long sleeves, JP Skeers with the long sleeves, Daniel Flores with the long sleeves. It's cold. Marboy, captain, plays one back for Rafa. Out goes Roberts. Roberts now in the chase too. Dolabella manages to force the shape to push the ball back for Rakowski, and a team that had a throw on the attacking third now has to play one for Colin Smith. Advancing forward, Avayevu trying to make the run past Connor Donovan, not quite fast enough. A poor pass there for Oliver, trying to evade the pressure of Avayevu. Now central pressure for Marceau, who's chasing the goalkeeper on his own. He's popped all the way out as a striker in defense. JP Skeers almost wins the ball, and here comes Summersall. Playing one through, Dolabella, Potmore Boy snuffs it out, but Roberts keeps it in touch for North Carolina. Roberts, Maldonado, near side touchline, playing one back for Summersall. Mikey, Paco. The captain plays one through the middle for Perez. Perez near side for Mikey. Mikey stopped in his tracks by Charlie Dennis, playing one back for Paco. Phoenix does enough to stop the forward momentum. Connor Donovan trekking forward now into the attacking half, slices the ball through on the far hand side for Sundstrom. Sundstrom dancing now with Daniel Flores. Darius Johnson comes back to help, but he loses his man in the process, and Donovan is now able to chip one into the box. Daniel Flores puts one high into the sky, and it goes up and over the crossbar. A corner kick on the way for North Carolina. 1 minute of extra time on the way here in this one. It's going to be a short one. 45th minute has been played. We'll play through the 46th.
There will be a minimum of 1 minute of added time presented by Town Properties.
Looks to be Connor Donovan, who's made the long walk over. He'll be the one serving the ball from the far side corner flag. 46th minute here. Just 1 minute of extra time in this one. Phoenix rising in the lead, 1-0. North Carolina trying to equalize at the death of the first half. Here comes the in-swinger, center of the box, headed away by JP Skeers. Darius Johnson needs to do his job now too. Almost loses it in the air. Hope Avayevu gets to it. It's still with North Carolina. Here comes a cross into the center of the box again. There's more action, but it's ruled as a goal kick. All that contact, non-incidental, not enough for a foul. And Rakowski will have a quick goal kick restart here as we trek through the final 10 seconds of this final added minute. You wonder if Phoenix will just try to walk this one in to the locker room. No funny business as Rakowski takes as much time as he can. One whistle, two whistle, and as Charlie Dennis's headband comes off for the first 45, we head to halftime. It's 1-0 in favor of Phoenix Rising here at First Horizon Stadium. And finally, Sammy, Phoenix has found forward momentum and has found a goal before the other side, and it has probably dominated the first half.
Yeah, definitely. That's the best first half we've probably seen them play since back August 23rd, the last time we got 3 points, a 4-1 win over Colorado Springs.
At the end of the first half, your score
Yeah, again, Phoenix, very quality across the board, clinical at moments, had that first goal taken away. They didn't let them bat that down. They were able to do it. A lot of great passing, little smooth, great one-touch football as they were able to get one in as Charlie Dennis stuck with the play on the rebound, found the back of the net, and Phoenix goes into the locker room with their heads held high for the first time in quite a while.
Well, heads held high. It doesn't turn into the 3 points quite yet. It's 1-0 Phoenix Rising, and the first 45 is done. We have a second 45 after a small Phoenix Rising Radio halftime report with myself, Kevin Cardez, and my partner, Sammy O'Brien. We'll be back in just a moment after a quick ad break to break it all down, and it's a 1-0 lead for Phoenix Rising.
Zuzuchukwu's in. Arteaga!
You're listening to Rising Radio, home of the 2023 USL champions.
Bliss and a burst of red smoke. Phoenix Rising, our home. Welcome to 38th and Washington.
Stick around for more as our broadcast continues.
Join in on the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app. Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app. James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app. Each day at work just dragging on. Get your sports fix on the lunch break. Join Chris Schubert and producer Evan live as they give their local perspective on the world of sports. Baseball, football, and basketball. Everything has a home on their plate. It's the lunch break with Chris Schubert, live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060, on the KDUS 1060 app, and KDUS 1060 on YouTube.
Buying a house can seem almost impossible, especially today. But with the right agent in your corner, it makes the challenge seem effortless. Hi, I'm Connor Cochran with Good Oak Real Estate, your go-to agent in the Valley. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Because finding the perfect home shouldn't be stressful, it should be exciting. Call 480-688-3200 today. Again, that's 480-688-3200. Let's have the conversation.
Hey Phoenix Rising fans, this is Discount Tire, your hometown tire retailer and trusted partner on the road for over 65 years. We know it can be overwhelming when buying tires, but we're here to help. Our online tire buying guide, Treadwell, makes finding the right tires simple. Just plug in your vehicle, location, and driving habits, and Treadwell will give you unbiased, personalized recommendations based on your needs, not based on price. Inviting, easy, and safe. Just how tire buying should be. Shop tires with Treadwell at discounttire.com. Let's get you taken care of.
Now we go back to the field to break down the first half action with the Rising Radio Halftime Report on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
It's 1-0 Phoenix Rising here on the road at First Horizon Stadium against North Carolina FC. A Charlie Dennis stinger off of a rebound shot from Colin Smith has the visitors up 1-0 in probably their most important game here in 2025, and it happens to be on the road, which myself and Sammy O'Brien made the trip for. This is the Phoenix Rising Radio Halftime Report on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network. Sammy, it couldn't have been a better first half based on what they have been dealing with for the first month, I'd say.
Yeah, no, definitely was almost picture perfect, in my opinion. A couple mishaps. You had that first goal from Darius Johnson called back, but again, as I said, they stuck through it. They didn't let things get down to them. The whistle wasn't always going their way. They didn't get discouraged from that. They stuck with it, and with the new changes that Pa is bringing through formation-wise, it seemed to work out for the most part. It's been pretty fluid. It hasn't been too many growing pains, and Phoenix has earned this 1-0 lead at the half.
They have definitely earned it. A few first-half stats here between Phoenix and North Carolina. We talked about it a little bit during the first half, but Phoenix Rising's 9 shots to 1 shot. of North Carolina probably is their greatest first half deficit in terms of the other team not leading them in shots in a long time. They have 2 shots on target to the no shots on target of North Carolina, and their .98 expected goal count is fairly in line with their 1 goal scored for the 0.05 of North Carolina's no goal yield. They have been very, very tidy, but to me, I feel like Asalasenge has been just dominating on the left side.
Yeah, he's been all over the place tonight. He's gotten a lot of foul calls to go his way, which has really helped out with the momentum. And it really kind of just gives you that mental edge, and you can see some of the North Carolina players on that side getting frustrated, and Asenge kind of just shrugs it off. It's like, hey, yeah, that's what I do. And that's really, and it's kind of, again, worked in Phoenix's favor, and he's able to get the ball up, progress it up towards the pitch, and it's really kind of just been Phoenix's bread and butter tonight.
The bread and butter. This is a stat that was given to me by a good friend of the program. In fact, maybe one of the best friends of the program, Peyton Gallagher, who used to be on this same headset, gave me a good one. Rising is converting a league best 17.05% of shots in 2025. There's not a single other team in 2025 that is above a 15% mark. That is the 4th highest mark in USL Championship history. And the other 3 teams that are in that top 4 were all during the shortened COVID season. This is a team that when they are finally able to fire and rip off shots, they convert. We saw that here. They found a way to put one through. They just needed 2 shots on target to get that goal. How do they keep their foot on the gas pedal?
It's sticking with that, and again, it's just with the bread and butter, sticking through that, through the veterans, through guys like Charlie Dennis. Hope I maybe a younger guy, but I mean, plays like a veteran, feels like a veteran. He's so good when you put him in the right position. And again, another thing I wanted to point out, Phoenix also has 7 shots inside the box. Like it really has been their half. And when you do things like that, you are going to put the ball in the back of net, which they have.
Well, I would say let's throw it back to break, and then we'll come back with out-of-town scores, but there's no out-of-town scores. So because of that, we'll just stay here for a moment and talk a little bit of table, Sammy, just you and I. Tulsa, Sacramento, and New Mexico United, the 3 teams that are the only 3 in the West who have clinched a playoff spot as of this morning. That's 50 points, 44, and 43 points. And San Antonio at 4th place has 37. That's your top 4. Those are your home playoff teams as of today. If Phoenix Rising were to take this one home and win, although they'd have a game in hand on the entire Western Conference, some teams have 2 games in hand on them at 28 to 26. 36 points is good for 6th in the Western Conference. They leapfrog Colorado Springs and Lexington. They have the current standing tiebreaker against the Switchbacks, so if they were to tie the point total there, they would leapfrog them anyways, but Lexington definitely has the tiebreaker over Phoenix Rising, so leaping them is a big one. They have a chance to push forward. That's why 3 is so important here, I'd assume?
Yeah, definitely, and it feels like we've said it throughout the season as the season progressed, like, oh, hey, tonight is the biggest night, the biggest game of the season. Tonight is actually the biggest game of the season. Really, in my opinion, the make or break, and it feels like there's just an extra added level of that. And every game from here on out is a playoff game for Phoenix. It's pretty much win or go home because, you other than Colorado Springs, you don't really own a lot of those tiebreakers.
Well, Pamodoka has faced a lot of questions over the last 2 weeks. What about the pressure? What about the mounting expectations? Are the guys ready? I'd say after that 45, they look fairly ready. But we have 45 more to play here at First Horizon Stadium here on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network. This has been the Phoenix Rising Radio Halftime Report with Kevin Cardez and Sammy O'Brien. We're going to be back after this short ad break with the second half and see if Phoenix Rising can seal the deal on what would be their biggest win of the season.
You're listening to Rising Radio, home of the 2023 USL champions.
Bliss and a burst of red smoke. Phoenix Rising, our home. Welcome to 38th and Washington.
Stick around for more as our broadcast continues.
Join in on the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app. Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app. James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app. Each day at work just dragging on. Get your sports fix on the lunch break. Join Chris Schubert and producer Evan live as they give their local perspective on the world of sports. Baseball, football, and basketball. Everything has a home on their plate. It's the lunch break with Chris Schubert, live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060, on the KDUS 1060 app, and KDUS 1060 on YouTube.
Buying a house can seem almost impossible, especially today. But with the right agent in your corner, it makes the challenge seem effortless. Hi, I'm Connor Cochran with Good Oak Real Estate, your go-to agent in the Valley. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Because finding the perfect home shouldn't be stressful, it should be exciting. Call 480-688-3200 today. Again, that's 480-688-3200. Let's have the conversation.
Hey Phoenix Rising fans, this is Discount Tire, your hometown tire retailer and trusted partner on the road for over 65 years. We know it can be overwhelming when buying tires, but we're here to help. Our online tire buying guide, Treadwell, makes finding the right tires simple. Just plug in your vehicle, location, and driving habits, and Treadwell will give you unbiased, personalized recommendations based on your needs, not based on price. Inviting, easy, and safe. Just how tire buying should be. Shop tires with Treadwell at discounttire.com. Let's get you taken care of.
You're listening to the Rising Radio Halftime Report on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
Back for second half action between Phoenix Rising and NCFC here at First Horizon Stadium. Kevin Cardez and Sammy O'Brien here on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network and Phoenix Rising's X and Facebook pages. It's a 1-0 lead for Phoenix Rising. It's a boot from Charlie Dennis that gave Phoenix Rising the lead, but it was a ricochet shot from Colin Smith that really started the action. He was fantastic in the first half, and who else but Olex Anderson to enter the fray. Subs off number 6 for North Carolina. That's Thomas Roberts. He was really, really active in the first half. Now Olex Anderson comes on after playing 2 friendly games internationally against Cuba. He played his last game on Wednesday, returned presumably on Thursday, and is ready to go here on Friday. That is a quick turnaround as the clock ticks down to 0 on the big board here at Wake Med Soccer Park, and Elton Garcia makes the long trot to the center circle. It'll be Hope Avievo to restart, and there's no substitutions, at least for now it appears, for Phoenix Rising to start off this first half. They liked what they rolled out in the first half. They're going to roll with it here in the second. We'll see who the first to go is, but this 3-2-5, at least as they stand at the moment, has what they were doing in the first half. Sammy, it's a complete change, and what they haven't done for the last month is change off rip. It has been halftime shifts and adjustments. This time they adjusted before, and it paid dividends.
Yeah, they have. And again, like we talked about in the pregame, it was kind of trusting in that is kind of a change that Pa has been so not stubborn to make, but Pa has kind of stood on, and they finally decided to make a change in a time they needed it most, and it's paid off so far. I could only assume that we'll see Isan Nino Sacco at some point in this half, or maybe even Remy Cabral. Some sort of change up front would be my guess, most likely for Darius Johnson and moving Hope around. There's currently nobody up for Phoenix Rising. Nobody's really been getting warm as North Carolina concedes a quick one over here to Phoenix as there's a cross into the center of the box. Daniel Flores is going to give chase. Acela Senge lays off for him.
immediately in the attacking third for Phoenix, 46th minute, and they want more. They search for that second goal immediately after scoring the first and almost had a chance. Charlie Dennis really had an opportunity. Hope Avayevu sent one over the bar. Dennis now trying to find a way to serve across into a really crowded box. Charlie Dennis navigating, stops on a dime, turns on the heel, puts one right to the center. There's nobody there, and it's booted away by North Carolina. Now trying to find their own build, but it finds the forehead of Acela Senge, and quickly Phoenix Rising has the ball back. Rakovsky standing right on top of his box, stops the ball with his right foot, and plays one over for Rafa. This 3 center back look has been fairly sturdy through the first 45. We'll see what it does in the second 45, or if they change it up. Carl Fred Saint called up for national duty with Haiti. Instead, a problem at the beginning of the year was center back depth. They lost Casey Walls to retirement. They lost Mo Traore to injury. They lost Potmar Boy to injury, and they were rolling out anybody through the center. Ryan Flood, Colin Smith, anybody who played defense and had a warm body had a chance to play center back for Phoenix Rising. Now they have 3 very professional center backs through the middle as North Carolina wins the ball back, and they get restarted, but Charlie Dennis throws his man off the ball. Rafael Shihus now trying to do his job and commits a foul in a dangerous area. Olex Anderson draws a dangerous one about 35 yards away from the mouth of the net, situated in the left-hand half space, a few marks above the box. This one's going to be hard to defend for Phoenix.
Yeah, it is, and Phoenix has been pretty good so far in set pieces tonight. They haven't conceded one this deep into the attacking third. So we'll see how they line up. And again, it's one of these things. It's just no mental mistakes, no unmarked men either on one of the posts, which has come back to bite them quite a few times in 2025.
48th minute, we have the gritty cam going on right now, and a 1-0 contest for Phoenix Rising, and now it's a 6-7 cam. All right, we got to turn that off. Mikey Maldonado, left side, will be the man to take this free kick. It's a dangerous one. Shadow cast over the ball about 5 steps to the left of the ball. He'll serve with his left arm to the sky. Here comes the action. Chop towards that back post, headed up into the sky by Potmar Boy. Phoenix deals with this one for now. Smart Boy gives chase and watches his own ball go out of touch. It's a throw-in now in the attacking third on the near-hand side for North Carolina. Perez. Yeah, that might have been the craziest fan cam of 2025 for us. 49th minute, 1-0 Phoenix Rising. Perez, 2 hands on the ball, long throw-in, toes on the touchline, headed up, still dangerous. Olex Anderson thought he could track it down, but Avayevu sends a long ball up into the sky. Now it's another throw in the attacking half, not quite the attacking third, as Ahmad watches that one drift up and over the touchline. Alcock making the far run back over to his side. Somersault as well.
That back 5 for Phoenix, again, has been pretty much nails tonight. Only one semi-dangerous chance, but I mean, so far, really no complaints.
Ball split through the legs of Acela Senge, but Daniel Flores just picks up the pass. North Carolina trying to find a way to be dangerous, but the men in all red have been very timely tonight. Right places, right times, as Darius Johnson almost wins a crucial tackle. It's headed down there by Daniel Flores. Phoenix trying to find the ball. Avayevu heads one over to Morceau. Finds Charlie Dennis in the center of the park, who's then thrown to ground. No foul ruled by Elton Garcia. Here comes Olex Anderson, dancing now with Potmar Boy. This is Potmar Boy's toughest test to date. Pop trying to find his way through Olex Anderson. It's almost in the far post. Patrick Rakovsky almost conceded an easy one, and Olex Anderson almost found it. Quickly restart on the near-hand side, but it's chested by Hope Avayevu. Daniel Flores trying to clear this one. Darius Johnson, man on his back. That's Sundstrom. Flores. Back heel through for DJ, only finds Connor Donovan. Now right through the center again. Rafael Shihas able to deal with this one much cleaner. Still 1-0 Phoenix Rising in the 50th minute, but North Carolina has a more calculated idea as to what they want to do. I'm assuming that Olex Anderson probably couldn't play 90 minutes after playing just 2 days ago. That's why they bring him on for the second 45, as everybody is on the ground for Phoenix, and Morceau thought that DJ was going to run. DJ just puts his hands out to Jean like, slow it down. I can't make that yet. For what it's worth, Connor Donovan was right on his hip. He's not wrong. Jean, now, I think this is his 4th appearance for the club. My apologies, 3. It's going to take a while to become acclimated, and Pamodo Khan Midweek Media talked about how he thinks that North American leagues are the hardest to assimilate to because the game is so different, and it takes 3 to 6 months to truly understand what you need to change. Morceau is in basically month 1. Chip forward for Ahmad. Offsides flag goes up from the near side referee. Rhett Hamill says offside for Alcock, and so they'll walk that one back, and Phoenix will get the ball rolled out for Acela Senge. Rakowski was so close to conceding, but now you can see the idea sort of forming off of their most dynamic player, Olex Anderson.
Yeah, absolutely. And we said we weren't even sure if he was going to play or make the matchday squad, but instantly making an impact and beating Phoenix as captain on that one-on-one pop bar boy pretty convincingly, too. Have to imagine they're going to go back to it. And concerns for Phoenix, but again, that back line, really other than that, really has been pretty steady tonight. So we'll see if Phoenix is going to make an adjustment with that as this game progresses.
Acela Senge, lone man from LA Galaxy, manages to keep a curling ball in touch. It's a sky-high ball that's headed down by Rafa. Mikey Maldonado puts a boot down, and here comes Colin Smith off of a pass from JP Skiers. Now the bodies start to crash for Phoenix. Entering the attacking third is Colin Smith, playing one down for Hope Avayevu. The offsides flag goes up on the far side. Avayevu just a touch offside as he tried to receive a really good pass from Colin Smith. Olex Anderson in 2025 has only played in 17 games. He's knocked in 4 goals and 2 assists, but he's dangerous when he's on. Scored the one of 2 goals in the 2-2 draw against Tampa Bay just a couple weeks ago on September 20th. Played about 21 minutes against the Miami FC before going out for international duty. It's a long flight for him, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You know where that is, Sammy?
Somewhere in the Caribbean would be my guess.
Probably a good one. I don't mind the guess. Center of the park for Paco. Donovan plays one through Paco, and now North Carolina sort of in a back 3 in possession. Mikey Maldonado has completely dropped back. Slicing ball. Alcock plays one through the middle. Hope Avayevu trying to chase one down. Olex Anderson able to get there in time. That's Somersault, my apologies. Then it gets thrown to ground, and a foul committed by Jean is a bad one. That is...
He cleated Anderson pretty good.
His cleat's off, actually. The cleat is off.
Yeah, Anderson saw it on his face instantly, went down hard, banged the ground a couple times in pain. I don't think the official fully saw it either. I think more just saw him go down out of the corner of his eye, so don't think it was a card regardless. But
no card out of the pocket there. But another dangerous free kick for North Carolina. 54th minute, 1-0 Phoenix. Possession tilting ever so slightly in favor of North Carolina, 57% to 43 for Phoenix. Mikey Maldonado, the man to take this one as well, has Somersault as the near man and Ahmad Alcock to his left behind him. Mikey Maldonado, right arm to the sky, chipping one forward into the box. It's a really good ball. Olex Anderson was in the area, but it goes right up and over, and it's ruled as a corner kick for NCFC, and everybody in Rising Red is wondering who touched the ball for Phoenix. Lands on top of the net. Rakowski put his arms down, but Elton Garcia says somebody touched it, so here comes a corner kick. Near side corner flag for us. Another one played short. Mikey Maldonado receives a little something out of the training ground here as Perez has a chance to chip one in towards the back post. It's high. Colin Smith deals with it. Goal kick for Phoenix. Center referee and the AR1 both agree, and a point towards Patrick Rakowski is a sigh of relief for Phoenix Rising. It's 1-0.
Yeah, that corner kick, North Carolina doing the field the steal thing on corner kicks, getting everyone to stop, kind of gets the crowd back into it, kind of a little bit of free momentum, if you will, but Phoenix kind of catches the break on that one. I think Darius Johnson might have tipped that cross as well with his head.
There's a chance. Hope Avayevu on the half turn loses out to Connor Donovan, but a foul ruled in the center of the park and a yellow card out of the pocket against Connor Donovan, who just gives a thumbs up to Ellen Garcia. My bad. So maybe the conversation between Darius Johnson really was just a, it's good to see you, dude.
Hey, man, my bad, yeah.
I like that. I like that storyline.
He got some cool cleats on, man. Hope Avayevu clearly had a step on him as well, so I think that card was pretty deserved as Phoenix was building up a counter.
Foul.
Yep.
Good tactical foul from North Carolina and Connor Donovan.
To NCFC number 20, Connor Donovan, in the 55th minute.
Connor Donovan, 29 years old, still a U.S. national. 1 goal in 2025 as a center back. He started 12. He's played in 16. Played about 1,000 minutes. He's a key piece of the squad when he's on there. He's been really strong tonight, too. I'd say that goal that was conceded was certainly not Connor Donovan's fault. Just a rocket of a shot from Charlie Dennis as Marceau plays a long ball up and over the outside touchline. Colin Smith watches it sail. Marceau was a little upset that Colin didn't go for it. was a pretty high ball, though. I don't think that Colin Smith was tall enough to get to it.
No, sure didn't seem like it.
Maldonado wiping the ball down in his jersey, now situated in the defensive half for NCFC. 56th minute, still 1-0 Phoenix Rising. On the hunt for their most important win in 2025. One that would thrust them up, at least for the moment, in the standings of the Western Conference and give them a little breathing room from an Orange County side that looks ever dangerous, although they've been on a bit of a slide and Danny Stone is trying to figure out their own issues. They're dangerous in terms of just point and position. Ahmad Elcock making the run. Patrick Rakowski stays inside of his box and manages this to bring it to his chest. 57th minute, and Phoenix Rising is going to try to settle possession now. It's still 1-0.
Rafa Shios there with a round of applause for Daniel Flores, staying with it on that one, not letting Alki get past him again. That's that veteran leadership right there, and that's trust in a guy who only came in about a month plus ago. Really just becoming the backbone of a squad that needs something like this and needed something like this so far tonight.
Phoenix Rising has put in a shift. Now they have substitutes up, those all black jackets. It's cold. It was 61 at the start of the second half. It's going to dip.
It's Arizona cold.
Arizona cold. Hey, when these guys are used to training in 110, this is a stark drop-off. That's 50 degrees in the other way. Hope Avievu giving a run. Oliver Zemley, but can't quite get there. Zemley plays a nice ball, and now they're trying to split some lines. Here comes Sundstrom and crew. Olex Anderson trying to beat Pop Marboy. Pop doing just enough to get thrown off the ball. Olex Anderson into the box. It's booted away there at the last moment by Rafael Shihas. And another corner kick on the way for NCFC. That's 3 set pieces in a row. 2 corners, a dangerous attacking free kick. Another dangerous attacking free kick. Make it 4. Pop Marboy was thrown off the ball there by the frame of Olex Anderson. Some angst in that one. Olex thought he had a shot. Far side corner flag. Mikey Maldonado to take. Right foot of Mikey Maldonado. Left tape on his wrist. Serves the ball. Center of the box. Headed away by JP Skiers. Dealt with well. Still with Perez though. Darius Johnson does enough to ward him off the ball. Darius Johnson almost clears it and does off the shins of Perez. Good defensive work from Darius Johnson into the 58th. Still 1-0 Phoenix Rising. Elton Garcia saying, let's up the pace of play, literally ushering Phoenix Rising players to run towards the ball. Elton says, it's a close game. He wants to see a little bit more. I agree. 59th.
A lot of football left, Kevin.
A lot of football left.
Colin Smith, good tactic there, wiping off the ball. Pitch is a little damp, but do what you can get, kill as much time as possible.
A hit to the ball for Charlie Dennis turns into possession for Somersault. Now, play back for Ahmad. Hancock trying to get through the middle, finds Connor Donovan. Phoenix really hasn't had a lot of the ball over the last 10 minutes, just trying to survive this little onslaught from NCFC. They've done well so far. How long can they hold? Sundstrom back through for Connor Donovan. Plays out for Paco. Paco playing a line-splitting ball, but the boot of Morceau gets to it just in time, and Avievu almost cleans up the loose one. Avievu throws his hips right through Perez. Not enough there, though. Sundstrom splitting a line, finding DaCosta. Rodrigo DaCosta dancing with Charlie Dennis and crew. Sundstrom loses the ball off of the hip of JP Skiers, and Daniel Flores watches that one sail over the end line. Goal kick for Phoenix Rising.
Great little sequence from Daniel Flores. They're able to get a shin to that first ball to deflect it away, deny the through ball, and then is able to win a goal kick for Phoenix. Daniel Flores has been all over the pitch tonight. He's been so good since his homecoming to Arizona.
We'll see if he can play a full 90. Still looking for that first ever full 90 in Rising Red. He was at, what, the 89th minute?
So close.
When he got his red card 2 weeks ago. Now sitting on a yellow. He has to be careful. Darius Johnson also the recipient of a yellow card. Connor Donovan sitting on a yellow card. So 3 out of the pocket. On average, Elton Garcia gives out 4 yellow cards a game. So we're on pace right now, about an hour through the game as we hit the 61st minute. Still 1-0 Phoenix Rising. Long ball into the sky from Rakowski. Assel and Morceau find a way to get the ball. Daniel Flores gets the ball moving right to left. Darius Johnson now on the run with Sundstrom on his hip. Darius Johnson dancing. Can the Grenada National make something happen? DJ dancing with Sundstrom, trying to find a cross into the box. Finds the far post. It's headed in! Colin Smith! Darius Johnson makes magic happen. dances down the left-hand side, finds a cross into the center of the box, and they dance with some banditos in the far right side. There's some traveling fans. Beautiful from Colin Smith. It's 2-0 Phoenix Rising here in the 61st.
That's gorgeous from Phoenix, Kevin. And these boys have came to play tonight. It almost dominant 60 minutes in. Again, they have earned it a long travel. They got in very late last night. They got in almost 11 o'clock last night from our calculations.
I was told 11:30.
The Phoenix Rising
there it is. Through the jet lag. Just brand new formation, brand new tactical approach from Pa Motuka needed to happen, and it's paid off tremendously.
And there's an argument to be had that this is their best tactical shape, despite the fact that NCFC is so good at throwing so many perplexing and complex attacking fronts at you in that traditional 3-4-3 shape. This has been the best initial hour in a long time from Phoenix Rising, and they are soaring right now 2-0, which is also the most dangerous lead in soccer, and you hear that a lot, and it seems like a joke statement until you look at what's happened over the last month and a half from Phoenix, and you realize that, yeah, it's a fairly dangerous lead. So more work to be done. At about a half hour to play in the 62nd. It's 2-0 Phoenix Rising on the road in First Horizon Stadium. NCFC on the ropes. Phoenix Rising trying to keep their season from being on the ropes itself. Headed along there, back-heeled there from Rafael Shihas. Now there's some forward movement from North Carolina. Olex Anderson in the area. JP Skiers booted it away.
And I want to tail you off that. Keep tactically. It's how is Phoenix been able to keep the ball away from Olex Anderson for the next 28 minutes or so. It's really keeping the ball off his foot because he clearly, as Popmore Boys' numbers, even able to, I guess, get away with throwing him to the ground. It was on the far side of our vantage point, so we weren't able to see it. But it's going to be things like that, like keeping an extra eye on that. You'll see a lot of communication between the back line, whoever is closest to him at any given moment.
Perez sends a long throw into the box, and Daniel Flores does enough to shield it off. It's a goal kick for Patrick Rakowski and Phoenix Rising as North Carolina is a little frustrated. Some hands on heads as there's another substitution. Reading on the touchline here. Patrick Berner. Now, sources tell me, my sources are Ryan Sikora, that at one point it was Patrice Berner, and I don't disagree. Played in Ligue 1 for Nice at one point at the same time as Isanino Sacco, forward for Phoenix Rising. But listed on this North Carolina roster, I'm looking at Patrick Berner. And the PA guy agrees. Patrick Berner enters, trying to find a little spark. At one point, Patrick Berner was playing Champions League qualification games as well as Europa in midweeks. That was in the late 2010s, early 2020s. Now makes his way over to North Carolina FC, the American Second Division, trying to make a statement here in this game in which North Carolina needs an answer quick. In the 64th minute, it's 2-0 Phoenix in front of home fans as Alcock shields off Daniel Flores. Last touch there by Danny. Throw in on the near side touchline in the attacking half for North Carolina as Morceau forces Selesengi to boot a ball out, and it's another dangerous throw in deep in the attacking third. Here comes Mikey Maldonado making the long trot over. Ball boy gives him the ball. Second ball gets booted off the pitch, 65th minute. Mikey Maldonado, it's going to be a long throw and look for tiptoes on the touchline, two hands on the ball, and a throw over the head for Mikey Maldonado. Mikey, throw in. Searching for the center of the box. Sundstrom almost gets a foot to it. Olex Anderson almost gets there. Raheem Summersall was the one to get boots. Another throw in for Mikey Maldonado, who didn't even have to move. The ball went right back to him. Attacking third, 2-0 Phoenix. Mikey Maldonado, another throw in, same exact spot. More heads in the same area. On top of the box is Ahmad Alcock. Lays off there for Perez. Has Mikey instead serves it to the center of the box, headed away by Pop Marboy. Back all the way for Berner. First touch of the night in this contest. Olex Anderson now dancing with Daniel Flores and Colin Smith. A little coming together, center of the box. Mikey Maldonado is going to want to put a rocket foot to it, but he can't quite get there in time. Ahmad Alcock making a run, beats Darius Johnson, serves one down for Maldonado again, a right boot to it, and the ball goes off of the quad of Mikey Maldonado, who thought it went off of Daniel Flores. Instead, throw in the defensive third for Phoenix Rising.
Daniel Flores again tonight, Kevin. It's little things like that, the little victories, especially we were talking about earlier in the first half with Estela Senge, the little victories, winning small fouls and things of that. Here comes Phoenix. Flag goes up, though.
Flag goes up. Avayevu thought that he was onside. There was a beautiful slicing ball there from Phoenix to Hope Avayevu, who would have had a dead-on run against Zemley, but it's blown dead by the center referee and the far side touchline official, and Sundstrom gets it quickly restarted, finding Burner. Donovan.
And another thing with North Carolina bringing Anderson into the game, you have Maldonado on our near side, Anderson on the far side. Just so much versatility from these guys, and Phoenix has really stepped up to the test so far. Colin Smith had a good contest with Anderson on that last possession as well.
Burner. Back for Sundstrom, who's dropped back as a center back. In lieu of Paco being taken off the pitch. Paco Craig put in a fairly good stint, was subbed off for Patrick Burner as Senge watches a throw and go over the head of Dalabella, who almost had a run. Instead, Senge does the right thing to watch it. Hear the fans getting a little more active and involved here for a North Carolina team that really needs them. And now they're finally headed towards their supporter section, but Patrick Rakowski with the goal kick restart will place the ball down with two hands on the corner of the 6-yard box, take 5 steps back and wait for everybody to move forward. Estela Senge, the last man back in the 67th minute. It's 2-0 Phoenix Rising on the road at First Horizon Stadium. Headed along by Colin Smith. Hope Avayevu now trying to boot it forward. He does. Darius Johnson's going to try to beat Sundstrom to it. What a tackle there from Sundstrom, but it's one back again. Avayevu still with the ball. Bodies coming forward now for Phoenix. Avayevu darting into the final third. Can he find a backfield pass for DJ? Loses it in the corner. Patrick Burner does just enough to keep the ball away from the waiting attack of Hope Avayevu, but he loses it out of touch. And now a dangerous throw-in on the far side touchline, deep in the attacking third. Thrown in by Colin Smith, chested down by Charlie Dennis, dealt with well by Sundstrom, who sends another pass out of touch. Same exact throw-in again.
Kevin, take a look down at the Phoenix bench. Isan Nino Sacco has his jersey on, getting instruction from Darnell King. I'm sure we'll see him shortly. I'm assuming for Darius Johnson, but you never know. I'm assuming Sacco will come in. They'll put him through the middle and bring Avayevu out wide. But again, I mean, who knows? Not the traditional Phoenix shape we've seen so far tonight.
It all depends on who Sacco takes off. That is the question. Now it's turned into a corner kick for Charlie Dennis and Phoenix Rising. 69th minute. 2-0 Phoenix Rising, trying to add on and make it 3. Charlie Dennis sets the ball down and gets ready to serve a left-footed cross, probably towards the back post. Right arm to the sky. Charlie Dennis sets, serves, and delivers a low one. It's not a great cross. Burner boots one up and over the touchline again. Another throw in the attacking half for Phoenix Rising. We'll do it a third time in a row. This time there's Cheerwine on the touchline boards. Cheerwine's a local delicacy. Not quite a fan. Have you ever tried it, Sammy O'Brien?
I don't think so, no. Not very well versed in things like that, unfortunately.
It's okay. Cheerwine is a soda, by the way. It's like a cherry soda, but it's really, I don't know, not
Is
my
it a
thing.
regional thing here?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Cheerwine is a regional thing. That's a souvenir up into the VIP boxes, by the way. Still with Phoenix, exact same throw-in. We'll do it the 4th time in a row. This time not in the attacking third, it's Colin Smith. Yeah, Cheerwine is, I don't know, to me it's strong. It gives off too much cough medicine vibe to me.
Okay.
Which might hurt feelings for some local North Carolinians, but I think it's something you have to grow up with. You know, it's like, this is a delicacy, man, and it's just not. Alex Anderson giving Potmar Boy a little bit of trouble, but that long ball that was snuffed up by Mikey Maldonado turns into backwards play from Potmar Boy, and Patrick Rakowski is going to have to quickly evade Olex Anderson, who was shot out of a cannon trying to get the ball back. Darius Johnson wins a header high into the night sky. JP Spears with a little coming together of somersault. It's not ruled as a foul. Darius Johnson's going to try to make the run out, but Zemley is there just in time. Ahmad Alcock almost gets there, but a poor touch goes to the left, and it falls out of the touchline. Here's the change. Isan Nino Sacco is going to replace Darius Johnson. So honestly, there's a chance that nothing changes.
Substitution for Phoenix in the
very possible,
minute.
I honestly don't see a reason to change other than just swapping Nino and DJ.
I like for like swaps here. And now look at the substitutes for Phoenix. We're going to make a long walk over to the bench. We'll see if anybody else takes off their jacket. But there's a chance that they might be done warming up for now. Devin Manifold makes the run over to collect his cones and the Gatorade bottle. So not sure if there's another change coming for a little bit. 71st minute. 2-0 Phoenix Rising on the road. Avievu misses a back heel. Ahmad plays one up and through, trying to find the run there of Dalabella, but Rafa deals well with the pressure. Perez shot out of the can, trying to find Potmore Boy. Instead for Charlie Dennis, the boy from Brighton dancing now, makes his way past Mikey Maldonado, turns on the half, trying to find his way into the attacking third. Now he's there. Deep in the corner, Charlie Dennis trying to ward off Mikey Maldonado and serve one off of his shins. Instead finds Colin Smith. A good touch from Smith and a pass back from Charlie Dennis. A slicing ball almost finding Olex Anderson, but Potmore Boy does just enough to keep it with Phoenix. The captain finds Asela Senge, now moving from right to left for Daniel Flores. Dancing with Ahmad. Avievu, one touch stuff for Sako. First touch is on the night. Isan back to the corner for Avievu. Isan Sako again, situated on the edge of the box, trying to serve a cross, stops on a dime. Sako, a rocket shot trying to find top bins, can't quite get there. 70 seconds, stays 2-0.
Good involvement from Sako right away, and a player who can do things like that, something that Pod Motoka talks about a lot, and really they haven't found like a true spot, I would say, whether up the middle or out wide for Sako, but they like to give him a lot of one-on-one opportunities like that, and he almost created a little bit of magic. He had a slight mistouch, so then he was kind of forced to shoot it. But it was still a pretty good angle, and he nearly put that thing top bins.
Well, for a guy who's played 27 games, has net 7 goals and had 6 assists, 13 goal contributions for a guy where the staff says, could be a striker, could be a winger. Not too bad is what I'd say. Asel misses a really poor header, and Olex Anderson gets thrown to ground by Potmore Boy. No foul ruled there. Connor Donovan chests the ball down. Here comes Donovan, down for Alcock. Alcock playing on the near side touchline, dancing fancy footwork to beat Nino Sako, but Daniel Flores watches that one hit almost his elbow.
I think a good approach for Olex Anderson is being a little bit more physical. It's been a pretty physical game. They've let a lot of things play. So I think especially with that, and you kind of just have to take the risk, take a yellow card with a guy so dangerous like that.
Mikey Maldonado serves a long throw into the center of the box. This is dangerous, but Daniel Flores deals really well with it. Out for Alcock again. Ahmad chipping one towards the back post, headed up by Rafael Shihas. Tracked down by Olex Anderson, who's going to watch it roll out of touch, and it's a corner now for NCFC. They need to get going quick if they want to get their foot back in the game. 73rd minute, 2-0 Phoenix Rising on the road, searching for their first win since that 4-1 battering of Colorado Springs Switchbacks back in August. It's been a while. Mikey, one-touch football, back towards the center of the box, serves a cross in, hits a forehead of somebody. Asela Senge and Morceau come together to boot the ball high into the sky, and it's another throw-in, this time on the near side for NCFC. Perez out for Ahmad. Alcock plays one. Sako gets a boot to it. It's high into the night sky for Somersault. Sako, poor touch, deals with it well. Asenge just has to serve another one far and away for Amal Alcock, who plays one down now for Somersault. Near side, right foot. Push to ground there is DaCosta. No handball called. Everybody wanted it. In fact, you heard a few fans saying, handball, handball. Not there. Rakowski picks up the ball and rolls out quickly for Charlie Dennis, who ushers everybody forward. Charlie Dennis trying to beat the bodies of North Carolina, chipping one up and through for Sako, who can't quite get there. It was close by Nino. It really was. But just a few steps behind, and instead the ball goes right to Oliver in that bright yellow goalkeeper kit for NCFC, and in the 75th, it remains 2-0.
Phoenix has done a good job with the pressure here, and really kind of just capitalizing on the opportunities and still knowing hey, we don't want to be done. We're not done. That was a good idea from Charlie Dennis there, just a touch too strong.
A touch too strong. Olex Anderson, a fine touch there, intermingling with Burner. Olex dancing with Potmore Boy and Colin Smith. Colin Smith does just enough and gets thrown off of his line, and a goal kick for Phoenix Rising. Really, really good work from Colin Smith.
Yeah, Colin Smith once again, pace for pace with Olex Anderson, excuse me. Yeah, and earns a goal kick. It almost looked like the ball touched someone's boot at the very end. I thought it might have been Collins, but the referee definitely has a better vantage point than we do.
You know what the bell rings were about there? Not sure.
I have no idea. I think it is bring your dog to the park night, so maybe they're trying to get some dogs to bark.
The dogs are on the cam right now. Much better fan cam than the 6-7 cam, so let's keep that one up. Ball high into the sky. Potmore Boy battling again with Olex Anderson. Goes right over his shoulder and commits the foul. Here comes another dangerous free kick and set piece for NCFC in the 76th. They're getting their opportunities. 2-0 Phoenix, perhaps not for long. Potmore Boy makes the long run back. Likely Mikey Maldonado, this one situated in the left half space, about 38 yards from the mouth of the net. Dangerous angle though. Mikey will have one short man, it looks to be Raheem Summersall. Ahmad El-Kak, the man right behind him, situated on top, and Luis Perez off to the right. So they have bodies back. Patrick Berner now the man on top of the box. We'll see if Mikey Maldonado plays short. One-man wall of Hope Apayevu to beat Isan Sako, also situated outside of the initial line of bodies. Mikey Maldonado, cool, calm, and collected. A slow walk to the ball as Ellen Garcia sorts out some action in front of the net. 3 steps back for Mikey Maldonado. 2-0 Phoenix. Right arm to the sky for Mikey, serving one towards the center of the box, headed away by Rafael Shihis. Really good work there from Rafa as another one trickles out of bounds. Corner kick on the way now for NCFC. Another chance to make something happen. Now ruled as a throw-in. Maldonado wiping the ball off, 2 arms on the ball. Toes on the touchline, long throw in towards the center of the box. It's loose, it's free, it's over the goal line, and it's another corner kick. Now Mikey Maldonado, who has played a free kick, thrown a long throw in, will now take a corner kick in the last 45 seconds, 77th minute.
He hit the trifecta, Kevin.
We are in the triangle. Mikey Maldonado, left arm to the sky, it's taped with white tape, serves one towards the back post. Dalabella couldn't quite put it on the net. It was close, it was dangerous, and Dalabella was there, but Rakowski watches that one sail far of the far post, and it stays 2-0 Phoenix Rising here on the road as everybody's ushered forward by Patrick. Sammy, what do? You push for 3?
Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't hurt to. I mean, they have shown they have the drive. They have everything has been mostly going their way tonight, so why not give it a shot? Keep the pressure on. Don't give Carolina any more possession than they need.
Daniel Flores wins a dangerous one, plays it in the middle for Aviyevu, who's now in the attacking third. Danny, one touch back for Aviyevu. Phoenix Rising's number 10 trying to find what would be a shot up into the league leader in assists, chasing down a couple battery men. Poor pass from Aviyevu, taken away there by Dalabella, and a coming together between Asenge. It's ruled play on. NCFC has a chance. Here comes DaCosta, and it's so well done there by Potmore Boy. Still dangerous, served away. Jean-Eric Morceau at the rescue. And a bad foul committed. Perez thrown to ground by Aviyevu.
Not a bad foul at all, especially with the injury, as the physio's going to have to come out.
Eric Roman makes the trot over to Summersall, who goes down, and it looks like we're going to see some substitution from NCFC as the technical staff takes a quick chat with number 71 there, Jason Quintanilla, who's now taking off his warm-up and receiving instruction from the technical staff. We'll see if he replaces Summersall, who's still down. Aviyevu makes the long run over to talk to Pamodoka. Greg Spence right next to Pamodoka as well, just handing him a water bottle. Good man, Greg Spence.
Busy man this season, especially.
Busy, busy man.
Rocking the beanie, too.
It's a good look. So is Vitor.
Yeah, and it looks like Devin Manifold as well. Vitor, good friend of the program.
It's a beanie day. It's cold. I don't blame him. Dangerous free kick, 40 yards out from the mouth of the net. No, we'll call it 30. Way off on my distance there.
Yeah, that's definitely 30.
That's definitely 30.
30 at the max, to be honest.
Summersall comes off. Quintanilla looks to be putting his zip up back on, so maybe not ready to go in quite yet. Summersall is going to enter at the next stoppage or whenever they let him go back on. Fourth official, Yannick Roth, was giving him the instruction as to when he can re-enter the play. Instead, Mikey Maldonado is the man situated behind another dangerous free kick. 30 yards to the mouth of the net, nearly dead on with Patrick Rakowski. One-man wall again of Hope Avievo to beat. Nobody else outside there for Phoenix besides Sacco, who's marking the far man. That's Perez. Ahmad behind him. Patrick Berner to the left of him. Mikey Maldonado with the left arm to the sky is going to send one up and towards the back post. Patrick Rakowski punches. It's still dangerous in the box. Off of the back there of Olex Anderson. Patrick Berner sends one through, but a foul ruled as Charlie Dennis goes to ground. Patrick Berner had a stinging shot opportunity, and here comes Greg Spence. Elton Garcia is motioning for the physio to come out to talk to Charlie Dennis. Not sure where Greg is, because Elton Garcia was actually motioning over for the physio, but Greg Spence says, no, he's okay.
Greg's just posted up on the sideline. Comfortable. This is some of the best bench arrangements I've seen for the coaches, at least, and most of the players.
They're looking good.
Pretty comfy chairs.
Paul Modoka still has yet to sit down.
No, he is, yeah. Paul Modoka came in here, a man on a mission, you could say. Still hoping to not be done tonight.
Search for three. Charlie Dennis thrown to ground by his defender. 2 arms through the back of Charlie Dennis. And now a free kick in the attacking half of a long ball booted from Patrick Rakowski. 82nd minute, Phoenix is in business. It's 2-0 Phoenix Rising as 2 more Phoenix Rising players begin to take off their jackets. It looks like Zian Emmers and Noble Akello getting ready to enter the fray here for Phoenix. Interesting to see who they'll take off, but it looks like 2 will come on at least for Phoenix.
I would assume it would be more so, or maybe Hope. I mean, or maybe both. Probably both, honestly. I mean, bringing on 2 midfielders.
Hard to tell.
Yeah, probably more just I'd assume more just a fresh set of legs than anything real tactically.
Charlie Dennis serves one towards the head of JP Skiers, and it's dealt with really, really well by North Carolina. Long ball up into the sky. Olex Anderson trying to hold off Rafael Shihas. No foul ruled against Phoenix. Alan Garcia says play on. Good touch from Nino Sacco. Touches one over to the chest of Morceau, who plays one back for Ahmad. Now North Carolina trying to win possession back on their own, but it's a high boot for Morceau. Played back for JP Skiers. Heavy boots trying to find the head of Daniel Flores, who finds nothing but the shoulder of Connor Donovan. Alan Garcia goes, nothing there. Ahmad El Kak thrown to ground by JP Skiers. 2 outstretched arms, and there's the whistle by Elton Garcia.
That was a hefty shoulder received, and then finally a quick restart too. Too quick of one.
Elton Garcia, to prove a point, we are 40 yards away from the net. This is not a free kick that I think they're going to take directly. Has made a point to walk out, spray down the paint to say, nope, this is where the ball is. And now they're ushered forward in a true free kick formation, but it's played short there for Alcac, who is now dancing with Hope Avievu, trying to break into the final third, plays the ball for nobody. Daniel Flores lets that one roll for Rakowski, who's going to wait and pick it up off the pressure from Connor Donovan. 84th minute, 2-0 Phoenix, trying to shut down their first win in a long time, and it's the biggest one that they've had. Noble Akello and Zian Emmers ready on the touchline. 4th official putting the numbers into the board, waiting for a stoppage so they can finally get their players onto the pitch. Rakowski serves the ball high into the North Carolinian sky. Ahmad heads one down, chested by Isan Nino Sacco, trying to deal with the pressure of 3 defenders, and it's dealt with well. Perez shielding off JP Skiers, who has 2 hands on the hips of Perez, finds the half turn. Now comes DaCosta. Rodrigo dancing with the Celasenge. Back heel down for Perez, trying to find a cross into the center of the box. Morceau almost finds the hand. Little shrug there from Elton Garcia. You're going to get a shrug out of me too. 85th minute. Jean-Eric Morceau, maybe non-incidentally, had his arm down at his side. The ball might have glanced off of it. I'm not a ref.
Can't really tell the replay they just showed in the stadium, but I mean we're pretty close to that. That's on our side. That I would say that ball definitely glanced his bicep. Maybe just a kiss. Maybe just a slight touch.
It could have been a slight kiss on the bicep of Jean-Eric Morceau from the ball. Daniel Flores will wait another week to play his first full 90 because he's been subbed off for Noble Akello. Zian Emmers is now going to come take off Hope Avievu.
Stellar 85 minutes from Daniel Flores tonight.
as per usual, Daniel Flores has been a real treat in Rising Red. Lone man from CD Chivas out in Mexico. Hometown guy. Option to buy on his loan.
I was just going to say that, yeah.
Hometown guy, option to buy. Makes you think. It makes me think a lot because Danny has been a breath of fresh air off the left side for Phoenix in 2025.
He's been more than a breath of fresh air, Kevin.
It's been a kiss, as Sammy O'Brien has put it. Emers plays one back for Asenge. Moving towards the center of the park. Asenge with a slicing pass towards Colin Smith, who's very advanced. Finding the final third now. Charlie Dennis and Sacco, the trailers. Sacco is going to have a chance in the box. It drifts all the way through for Emers. Emers now with one to beat. It's Alcac. Emers, smooth boots back for Asenge. Rolls his feet over the ball. Slicing one over for Colin Smith again. Really good touch there from Colin Smith, but he's lost it to Dalabella, and now a foul ruled against Colin Smith. North Carolina wants to get going
Attention
immediately.
fans, could Gregory Connor please come to the box office to retain a lost item? Again, Gregory Connor to the box office.
Good PA guy. Yeah. Lost items. 87th minute. 2-0 Phoenix Rising here at First Horizon Stadium on Phoenix Rising Radio Network with Kevin Cardez and Sammy O'Brien. Made the trip all the way out to Cary. It's been gorgeous, and we're 4 minutes away from one of the most impactful results if it holds for Phoenix. Perez plays one down for Ahmad. Alcac now dancing with Asel Asenge. Asel does really well to turn him around. Perez with Isan in his face plays one back for Donovan. Donovan back for Sundstrom. Sundstrom now down for Burner. Patrick with Colin Smith to beat, plays one up and over through the middle, and it's put down by Potmore. Boy, almost ruled a handball. A shot on target, and Patrick Rakowski just leaps right on top of it. Hasn't had to do a lot tonight, but when he has, he's been at the ready. 32-year-old German goalkeeper at one point was starting in the Bundesliga, first division over in Germany. He then won a title with Orange County SC after bouncing around internationally a little bit with Lurs and FC Lady. Then wins a title as a starting goalkeeper with OCSC. Then sat behind Rocco Rios Novo as Phoenix Rising won a title in 2023. Fairly large trophy cabinet for the German, trying to make his mark and keep a clean sheet here in this one. 3 clean sheets in championship play so far for Rakowski, looking for number 4. Pamodoka very animated as a poor pass drifts out of play in the defensive half for North Carolina, and Sundstrom throws one back for Zemley. Maldonado drops back in possession, trying to find a way to break this one open. 1 goal, depending on stoppage time, is all you need to get your foot back in it. And Olex Anderson's going to try to do it. A beautiful touch from Olex, and Colin Smith throws him off the ball. Olex Anderson throws a shoulder into Colin, who then crashes into the touchline boards. Dangerous there from Olex Anderson, but it's ruled in favor of Phoenix, and that's all that matters. 88th minute, 2-0.
Colin Smith really has stepped up to the challenge since Olex Anderson has come onto the pitch. It's probably the 3rd or 4th time he's challenged him almost to perfection, drew a foul there. And also going back a moment with Rakowski, yes, been good when with the moments needed. That was his first save tonight, Kevin. Credit to that new back 5 for Phoenix now tonight.
You'll talk to professional goalkeepers, and that's the hardest game. When you're sitting around and your first save comes in the 87th minute, do you know how hard it is to stay alert and ready for that? Rakowski at the ready, and a ball gets lost in the center of the park. As Connor Donovan was going to try to roll and run, trying to find out who went down there, but the foul is against Phoenix, and now a restart and a free kick in the center circle and the attacking half for NCFC. Restarted for Sundstrom. Ahmad was the one who went to ground, and Rakowski will jump in the air and pull it down. Bella wanted a foul.
That foul was on Noble Okello. Kind of came out of nowhere. Made a pretty big collision. Noble Okello not one to shy away from contact. The team leader and served a yellow card suspension as well a few weeks ago.
Ball headed into the night sky by Connor Donovan. Marceau is the one to receive it though. John dancing against his defender. That's Quintanilla. Colin Smith chips one up and for the stands. Throwing in the defensive half from North Carolina. Sundstrom with the restart. North Carolina has to push forward. 90th minute. It's 2-0 Phoenix Rising in Cary, North Carolina. Can they hold on just for a few more for what would be their biggest win of the season? Through the middle for Perez. Played for Mikey Maldonado. Perez drifting from left to right. Toes on the touchline. Finds DaCosta. Can Rodrigo dance free from Isan Sacco? Instead plays one back for Mikey Maldonado. Right through the middle for Quintanilla. Quintanilla turns on the half and more so commits the foul. It is going to be a direct free kick right on the goal. We'll see what the wall is. This is dangerous for NCFC. 90th minute ticking away. Waiting to see from the fourth official what the stoppage time is. But for now, it's 2-0 Phoenix against a dangerous set piece. Board about to go in the air. 4 minutes of stoppage time here at First Horizon Stadium at WakeMed Soccer Park. 4 minutes, Sammy, separating Phoenix from their biggest 3 points in a very long time.
Yeah, this is what you're built for. You come to these moments as a team. Paul has finally sat down for the first time tonight as all eyes come to this ball in the center of the park.
It's Mikey Maldonado and Perez standing over the ball. Perez to take the direct free kick. It almost goes in. Top bins were on the menu for Pedro Dalabella, but Patrick Rakowski didn't have to do much. That was a beautiful strike there. So close to cracking open the account for North Carolina, but instead it turns into a goal kick, and Rakowski once again ushering everybody in Rising Red, moving from right to left all the way forward. Rakowski, 8 long steps back, waiting for everybody in Rising Red to get ready. Turning into the 92nd minute. 4 added minutes. We've played 1. Long ball into the night sky. Noble Okello, all 6-7 inches of him into the air. Dennis, Emmers, now trying to dance out of pressure, and Emmers does really well. Charlie Dennis, 1 touch back for Colin Smith. Smith serving a slicing ball forward. Instead, it just goes right out of play. Another throw in the defensive half for NCFC. 92nd minute. Thrown back by Patrick Bernhardt. Right through the middle for Quintanilla. Donovan, hounded by Zian Emmers. This is what he does. He chases a beautiful challenge and tackle there from Sacco, who then commits the foul on the back of Ahmad.
Ahmad's been limping for the last 5 minutes now.
He's hurt.
Yeah.
Fingertips down now on the grass. They're going to see if they'll stop it for Ahmad Alkak. Instead, it's Sundstrom on the restart, breaking his way into the final third. Everybody for Phoenix trying to get back. It's played through there for Patrick Berner, who still has control of the ball, but Jean-Eric Morceau is the one to clear it away. It's going to be a throw-in in the attacking third for North Carolina, and it looks like Hodge will be the replacement here for Ahmad Alkak. It was a really good shift from the Palestinian. He was so quality tonight.
Number 19, Ahmad Alkak.
Yeah, he was. Got to give him his flowers. He a great playmaker, especially on that right side all night long. Gave Phoenix a lot of problems, but they stepped up to the challenge.
Ball stuck and hanging in the box here against Phoenix Rising. North Carolina almost had a chance. It was a long throw-in as Hodge plays one back. Hodge out of Trinidad and Tobago. Another ball served into the center of the box. Can Acela Senga keep it away? It's now with Olex Anderson. Olex Anderson stings one, and it goes out of bounds. Waiting for the touchline officials to rule, is this a goal kick or a corner? And they rule it a corner. Somebody's down as well. It looks like Potmar Boy's hip hit the far side goalpost. And here in the 94th minute, as time ticks away, this 2-0 Phoenix Rising lead is in a little bit of danger. Mikey Maldonado races over and places the ball down. Almost everybody forward besides Patrick Berner and Quintanilla forward and inside the attacking area for NCFC. Maldonado serving one towards the back post, and Rakowski falls on it. What a catch. It was a class reception from Patrick Rakowski. The German jumped high into the air and claimed it before Pedro Dalabella could get ahead to it. And now Rakowski makes the long walk and bounces the ball down. Connor Donovan trying to wait him out. Can't quite do it. The German a little too keen. Olex Anderson's going to watch this one soar high into the night sky. 94th minute. This was almost a foul committed in the center of the park. JP Skierce heads one into the air. Acela Senga plays one up for Patrick Berner. Zian Emmers trying to win the header now. Puts it down with his chest. Quintanilla, 1, 2, and 3 whistles. Phoenix Rising has a win. It's the biggest 3 points in 2025. They had to have it here at First Horizon Stadium. It was a stinging strike off of a rebound for Charlie Dennis that put them up 1-0. And then Darius Johnson created magic to assist their second goal. They went up 2-0 and they never looked back, Sammy O'Brien.
Yeah, they did. Phoenix stepped up to the challenge. It felt like there was just a little extra sense of something, a little extra spark tonight. And they played great. The new shape change from Pa Motoka that he he just waited to do, and it worked out in almost every way possible. A quality win from the boys in red, and something they needed. Momentum, first win since August 23rd, Kevin.
Their first win since August 23rd. That was a 4-1 battering of Colorado Springs Switchbacks. Now they get this one basically 2 months later, 2-0 against North Carolina FC on the road. They had to have it. They jump into 6th for now in the Western Conference, and the playoff picture gets a little more clear for Phoenix Rising. They'll return home next week against San Antonio. We have more on that, more on the shape change, and more on their big win here on the road on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network for the Phoenix Rising post-game wrap-up presented by Crown Public House. Back in a moment just after this short ad break.
You're listening to Rising Radio, home of the 2023 USL champions.
Bliss and a burst of red smoke. Phoenix Rising, our home. Welcome to 38th and Washington.
Stick around for more as our broadcast continues.
Join in on the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app. Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app. James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app. Each day at work just dragging on. Get your sports fix on the lunch break. Join Chris Schubert and producer Evan live as they give their local perspective on the world of sports. Baseball, football, and basketball. Everything has a home on their plate. It's the lunch break with Chris Schubert, live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060, on the KDUS 1060 app, and KDUS 1060 on YouTube.
Buying a house can seem almost impossible, especially today. But with the right agent in your corner, it makes the challenge seem effortless. Hi, I'm Connor Cochran with Good Oak Real Estate, your go-to agent in the Valley. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Because finding the perfect home shouldn't be stressful, it should be exciting. Call 480-688-3200 today. Again, that's 480-688-3200. Let's have the conversation.
Hey Phoenix Rising fans, this is Discount Tire, your hometown tire retailer and trusted partner on the road for over 65 years. We know it can be overwhelming when buying tires, but we're here to help. Our online tire buying guide, Treadwell, makes finding the right tires simple. Just plug in your vehicle, location, and driving habits, and Treadwell will give you unbiased, personalized recommendations based on your needs, not based on price. Inviting, easy, and safe. Just how tire buying should be. Shop tires with Treadwell at discounttire.com. Let's get you taken care of.
Time for one last kick of the ball on tonight's match. It's Rising Radio postgame wrap-up on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
Phoenix Rising here at First Horizon Stadium in Cary, North Carolina. Phoenix Rising came here and they knew they needed a win. At minimum, you needed a point but we've said that too many times. The last time they had won was back in August against Colorado Springs Switchbacks. They came to North Carolina and they faced the third-place team in what most would say is the better conference in the USL Championship, and they dealt with business. It was a fantastic 90 minutes, perhaps their most complete 90 in 2025, and they got the most important 3 points. This is the Phoenix Rising Radio postgame wrap-up presented by Crown Public House and the Phoenix Rising Radio Network and Phoenix Rising Radio's X and Facebook pages with myself, Kevin Cardez, and my analyst tonight, Sammy O'Brien. Sammy, I mean, it couldn't have been more complete.
No, it really could not have. Kind of, Paul, you change up the shape, change up the tactics. Phoenix plays it to near perfection, kept a clean sheet as well. Vitor, good friend of the program, pointed that out to us during the break. So again, you can kind of just go down the line. Like, things were good. Like, the back line, the back five, credit to them. They were great. Again, kept the clean sheet and really just left this Carolina team like kind of stunned in a sense. Carolina so diverse, so fluid, just kind of did not allow them to be themselves tonight.
And I think that comes, Sammy, from the fact that they adjusted before they needed to adjust. They came in with a fairly clear plan. And to me, the plan was, okay, we are going to set up in a back three. We are going to defend in a back five. And we are going to tuck the wingbacks. Colin Smith's going to move up. Daniel Flores is going to move up. They already do it really well. And we're going to play Hope Avivu right through the middle. We're going to have Charlie Dennis and Darius Johnson crashing. And it really worked. And it worked so well to the point that Colin Smith got a goal. And Darius Johnson had an assist. And Charlie Dennis had a goal. Everything that you planned for happened, and I think that it all started with the fact that it was prepared for, not reacted to at halftime.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing, and it always has been that way throughout the season, and you're glad it happened now. You could have hoped that change happened earlier on in the season, but it happened now when it absolutely mattered most. This is the win that keeps you alive, and every game is still probably a playoff game for the next 2 weeks. But very happy with the result tonight.
A quick look at the table. With this one, they came in to tonight, Phoenix Rising, as a 7-8-12 team. 7 wins, 8 losses, and 12 draws at 33 points. They end tonight, and although they're the only game being played, so it's tough to tell what the picture will look like tomorrow night, they jump up from 8 to 6. They jumped over Colorado Springs and Lexington en route to 36 points, and now San Antonio and El Paso, who sit at 4th and 5th, have just 37 points apiece. There are really tough fixtures coming up tomorrow for all of these teams. We'll go over them for just a moment because all of the games that are played tomorrow all have implication with the fact that if a few of them fall your way, you could be looking at something really interesting if you're Phoenix Rising, and I mean that in terms of playoff positioning. Look down the table. It's going to be New Mexico against Orange County. Orange County is a team that has a game in hand against Phoenix Rising, which means that Phoenix really wants them to lose this week because when they play their midweek, you don't want to get jumped up by a team that's in punching distance. New Mexico United is far and away clear of the playoff line. They've clinched. They're going to be ready to go. You want a New Mexico win. If that happens, that's really good. FC Tulsa against San Antonio. San Antonio, another team that has a game in hand on Phoenix Rising. FC Tulsa, a team that's probably going to win the Western Conference, so don't worry about them. If Tulsa wins against San Antonio, it becomes a little more possible that the game next week against San Antonio is one that could jump you into a home playoff spot. You don't want to get too far ahead of yourself, though, because Charleston Battery is going to play Colorado Springs. The Switchbacks are on the heels of Phoenix Rising, so you're going to root for Charleston Battery tomorrow, and then you keep looking down. Every game, so important. Lexington and El Paso. You want that one to end in a draw because Lexington is right on the heels of Phoenix Rising. El Paso at 37 points. They'll need to jump El Paso and San Antonio if they want a chance at a home playoff game. It's a small percentage, but there's a chance for Phoenix to jump up and do what was thought to be improbable just, 10 hours ago?
Yeah, I think so. And again, they've proved themselves tonight. They have the momentum now. They really have the confidence. They said they have the confidence. They haven't showed it. They finally have showed it. So now it's almost like turning it's kind of cliche. It's a breath of fresh air. You're kind of turning over a new leaf, and it a bit of a downhill now. But again, there's still definitely an uphill climb in front of you.
Sammy O'Brien with some caressing remarks tonight. A kiss off the bicep of Jean-Marc Morceau. A breath of fresh air, even beautiful a few times out of the mouth of Sammy O'Brien. We'll be back with a little bit more for the second half and the last half of the Phoenix Rising Radio postgame wrap-up presented by Crown Public House, talking about next week and a little bit more about San Antonio FC and what is shaping up to be, once again, for the 6th week in a row, the biggest game of the year. Trademark that. We'll be back in a moment.
Uzuchukwu's in. Arteaga!
You're listening to Rising Radio, home of the 2023 USL champions.
Bliss and a burst of red smoke. Phoenix Rising, our home. Welcome to 38th and Washington.
Stick around for more as our broadcast continues.
Join in on the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app. Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app. James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app. Each day at work just dragging on. Get your sports fix on the lunch break. Join Chris Schubert and producer Evan live as they give their local perspective on the world of sports. Baseball, football, and basketball. Everything has a home on their plate. It's the lunch break with Chris Schubert, live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060, on the KDUS 1060 app, and KDUS 1060 on YouTube.
Buying a house can seem almost impossible, especially today. But with the right agent in your corner, it makes the challenge seem effortless. Hi, I'm Connor Cochran with Good Oak Real Estate, your go-to agent in the Valley. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Because finding the perfect home shouldn't be stressful, it should be exciting. Call 480-688-3200 today. Again, that's 480-688-3200. Let's have the conversation.
Hey Phoenix Rising fans, this is Discount Tire, your hometown tire retailer and trusted partner on the road for over 65 years. We know it can be overwhelming when buying tires, but we're here to help. Our online tire buying guide, Treadwell, makes finding the right tires simple. Just plug in your vehicle, location, and driving habits, and Treadwell will give you unbiased, personalized recommendations based on your needs, not based on price. Inviting, easy, and safe. Just how tire buying should be. Shop tires with Treadwell at discounttire.com. Let's get you taken care of.
You're listening to the Rising Radio Halftime Report on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
2-0 your final. Phoenix Rising and North Carolina FC in First Horizon Stadium at Wake Med Soccer Park. They needed it more than ever, and they got it off the boots of Charlie Dennis, Darius Johnson, and Colin Smith, who put in another goal in his USL Championship campaign here in 2025. He came over from Rhode Island. He's earned himself an extension, and I'd say nights like tonight prove exactly why he was worth it. Now, myself, Kevin Cardez, and Sammy O'Brien here on the postgame wrap-up presented by Crown Public House. We'll go over San Antonio for just a moment because they have been up and down. In their last 5, they have a 1-0 loss to New Mexico United, a 1-0 loss to Colorado Springs Switchbacks, and a draw against Birmingham Legion. But nestled in there is a 5-2 victory against Loudoun and a 3-1 victory against Orange County. It's a team that's very up and down. Depending on what happens against Tulsa tomorrow, we will have a much clearer picture of what Phoenix needs to do at home. It's going to be their final home game of the season, a $1 beer night even in Phoenix at 38th and Washington. But they need San Antonio, and we keep saying it over and over, Sammy, more than ever.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, because it determines the tiebreaker as well. You got the 2-0 win over them on national TV and national radio all the way back in the spring. So now you can't get too far ahead of yourself. There's still a lot of work to be done in the next 2 weeks.
Lots of work to get done tonight. Final takeaways, Sammy. What did Phoenix Rising change that flipped the tide of a team that couldn't get off on the right foot, couldn't find a way to win games, and now has won their first since late August?
It was bringing more juice. Guys like Colin Smith and Daniel Flores, as we said, Daniel Flores especially has brought the juice since they brought him over from Chivas in Mexico. With the wing backs, you have it up, and then you use those guys to kind of push the attack and really spread things out, give you more options, a more fluid attack, you could say. So, and then when they drop back into a back five, and you have so much more help on the back line. Leaves a couple holes in the midfield, but they did a good job of covering those up for the most part tonight. So, overall, a really quality performance, and again, in putting guys in positions where they can succeed, in overall just boosting everything up, and like I keep saying, like bringing the juice and the momentum in the energy. Like Colin Smith tonight, especially. Gonna go on with against Alexander. So many good contests against him like that really just gives you the momentum, and winning small victories like that as well.
Small victories turned into the biggest one in 2025 for Phoenix Rising tonight. Momentum, juice, passion, and intensity, something that's been talked about by not just Sammy O'Brien, but by Pa Modoka as well. And when he was asked in the midweek, how does the pressure feel? He just asked, what pressure? It's not pressure to play professional football, and he showed that tonight. A side came in, they landed at 11:30 last night, and they looked more locked in than they ever have this season. It's a 2-0 victory for Phoenix Rising on the road at First Horizon Stadium. This has been an official presentation of the USL Championship and Phoenix Rising FC on Phoenix Rising Radio Network with myself, Kevin Cardez, and my analyst all night long and producer, Sammy O'Brien, saying so long from Cary, North Carolina. This has been the Phoenix Rising Radio postgame wrap-up presented by Crown Public House.